This Baldurs Gate 3 video is for Act 2, the best route, the most OP builds and gear. Now this is a continuation video from another video that I have created that looks just like this. It is titled Baldurs Gate 3, the best possible start for new players, Act 1 best route, most OP builds and gear. You can find the link to this video right down here in the description under full game guides, and then click this. If you have not watched this video, then this current video you are watching won't make a lot of sense. It won't really be viable because we are continuing the 4 builds that we have at the start of that video, and the routing will not include every quest. It will not include all the side crap that we don't need. It will not include wiping out the entire map. We are simply getting the items we need for those builds in the most efficient and fastest way possible to progress our current characters. Before I begin the Act 2 video, I must make 2 corrections on the previous video. This is due to patch 6 that came out in February 2024, and this involves getting Lae'zel's Silver Sword of the Astral Plane. They increased the leash range from the Waukeen's Rest waypoint to when triggering the cutscene. So what you have to do now is separate everyone from the party as you normally would, but you have to make sure that the other characters are in camp before you walk too far with Lae'zel. Otherwise, she will leave the party, and you're not able to have her solo get the Silver Sword of Astral Plane. So to do that, as you can see here, I have Lae'zel not linked to the rest of the group. Then I'm going to take these 3 characters and just run them away from Lae'zel for just a little bit, you know, not too far. At least, I don't know, a few screens, 2 or 3 screens away. So Lae'zel's all the way over here by herself. She has not triggered the cutscene. The other characters are far enough away, and now I can send them to camp. So what that does is our 3 characters are now in camp. There we go, but Lae'zel is still out in the wilderness, and now whenever she triggers the cutscene, well, the game's still like, it's buggy sometimes. There we go. So switch back to Lae'zel, and then when she triggers the cutscene, she will not leave the party because she is the only controllable character out in the game world. So here's the cutscene. We're going to skip it, and you'll see here that Lae'zel, my kin will blah, 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 but she didn't leave the party. If any of the other characters are like at the waypoint due to patch 6, Lae'zel will talk to the party leader and then leave the party to talk to Kithrak Voss. So that is correction number 1. The second correction may not entirely involve patch 6, but I forgot to mention in the previous video that in the Emerald Grove, that is right here on the map, I know it's a little hard to see with all the text, you have to talk to Roland, and you have to tell him to stay and defend the Emerald Grove, because if you don't, the NPC named Mattis will not be available to buy from in Act 2 at the Light's Hope Inn, and you will not get the Cape of Cunning Broom if you fail to do that. So, where do you find Roland? Well, whenever you enter the Emerald Grove here, he is near this training grounds. So just talk to him, and then he's right here. His name's Roland. Just talk to him, tell him to defend Emerald Grove. That's all you have to do, and then you're all set for Act 2. And for those that couldn't follow those instructions, when you talk to Roland, he's going to be in a group conversation. You need to persuade him. Your main character is built for persuasion. This should be easy with friends and guidance. If you followed the previous video guide, it's very easy to pass. If you're on honor mode and you fail, then I guess you won't be getting the Cape of Cunning Broom, so there you go. Also, this is Mattis, but you cannot buy the cape from him until Act 2. So I just wanted to show this now because in my playthrough it's bugged and he doesn't appear, but we'll still get the cape. Again, this video is a continuation from the previous video, so please watch it if you don't. You'll have a cleric, a fog cloud archer, a tank monk, and default Lae'zel, which we will be replacing in Act 2. So here is what you're going to do. You're going to click to the Shadow Curse lands from the Rosimorn Monastery, the Kresh Yelek, or whatever it's called. So whenever you click here, it's going to say you're about to progress your adventure. You're going to be visited by Kithrak Voss at night. You can do absolutely whatever you want here when you go to bed. It's up to you. It doesn't change the story or alter any kind of loot. So again, do whatever you want in this little cutscene. And then once you load in, when the next day comes, you're going to leave camp, which will put you into the Shadow Curse Lands Act 2. As soon as you load in, you're going to get a cutscene where a goblin approaches you with a torch. Just kill the goblin. Just kill the goblin. It's level 3. It has very low HP. You should be able to one-shot it at this part of the game. And then take your cleric, your main character, and then animate dead skeleton so that you have a skeleton archer at the very start. Also, if you don't already, summon Shovel and any other summons you might have through scrolls. I didn't have any in my playthrough, unfortunately. Once that's done, you're going to immediately go to camp and you're going to start camp buffing. Here is the order which you're going to do some camp casting. You're going to swap out Lae'zel for Gale. He was our camp casting cleric. Him specifically, there's a reason we use him, as you learned in the previous video. We're going to have him warding bond the entire party, giving resistance to everything and more armor class. Then we're going to have him protection from poison everyone, so that you have advantage on rolls against poison. Then we're going to swap him out, have one of your summons or anyone hit the main character so that Gale, because he's warding bonded with the main character, will receive damage. And because Gale is Gale, and he received damage from not being in the active party, he will just restore his HP. It's programmed into the game to be that way, and it only works with Gale for some reason. And for whatever reason, this restores his spell slots, so you can warding bond and protection from poison your entire party no problem. Next up, you're going to have Gale cast Death Ward and Freedom of Movement on everyone. Again, this step will take some time because you can only cast it once, then you have to kick him out of the party, hit your main character, let him restore his health, invite him back to the party, and then he will have his spell slot return because it's a level 4 spell slot. But you will have Death Ward and Freedom of Movement on every single character this way, which is really nice, especially for Honor Mode, but you won't need it for the easier difficulties, but it's nice to have just in case. Also, Death Ward Gale, because Gale might die if you take a lot of AoE damage, and, you know, all the damage you're taking is split with Gale, who will naturally restore his HP over time in the camp, just passively like he's doing now, but if he takes a big hit, or if everyone takes a big hit, he will go down, and you will lose Death Ward, and you'll have to rebuff all over again, so it's better to just do it now. Anyway, move everyone close, cast level 4 Aid, with Gale, of course. Then swap your healer's boots to Gale, and then AoE heal everyone so you have a plus 3 HP on everyone. Then, have Gale cast Daylight on Lae'zel's sword. So to do this, you would select Lae'zel, and then you want to push your F button. I don't know what it is on keyboard, or I'm sorry, on controller. And then you can use the U button to pull out your weapon. So make sure she has her sword pulled out, cast Daylight, push F, push U to pull out the crossbow, have him cast Daylight again, and then swap to your healer and have him do it for the bow. You don't have to do it for his sword if you don't want to, because we're going to be using the buff from the sword and then swapping it out anyway later on, if you decide to even use the sword for the buff, which you won't really need in this act. But you're going to AoE heal everyone, so everyone has overhealing of plus 3 HP, or, you know, temporary max HP. And then after that, you just put Gale back in the camp. This next step is not intended by the game and is currently a bug, but we're going to abuse it anyway. Now, I want to tell you that this will most likely be patched. You need to check the description of this video, and I'll have it in the very first line, you know, update with the date it was patched, okay? Also, scroll down further, check the pinned comment. That's the very first comment that I will pin. It will always be on the top, and I will update you there as well if this is patched. But what you're going to do is, you're going to use a Transmutation Wizard Hireling, which we have set up from the first video. You really need to watch that first video, but you go up here, get your Transmutation Wizard, which for me is Sir Fuzzalump. That's his default name. I didn't name him that. And you're going to be using him to stack orb buffs, and this is how you're going to do it. So talk to your Transmutation Wizard, and then tell him to follow me, and then kick out Lae'zel. There you go. Now you're going to select your Transmutation Wizard. You're going to cast your Transmuter Stone. The only ones that we need are the Constitution saving throw one, the Dark Vision for Lae'zel, because all of our other characters have Dark Vision, and then Movement Speed. So I'm just going to cast the Movement Speed one, and this is how it works. So now we've created the stone here. I'm going to move this into our healer's inventory, which will give him plus 3 Movement Speed. Now I'm going to kick him out of the party. Not remove him from the game, just wait for me in camp. There we go. And what'll happen is you'll notice that the stone is gone from our inventory, but we still have the buff, Transmuter Stone movement speed. So now when I re-invite him back to the party, follow me, there you go, and we select him once again, he can't cast a spell again, but as you know from the previous video, if we cast Featherfall, which is a ritual spell and does not cost a spell slot, we will gain the ability to cast Transmuter Stone once again. And this time, I'll cast the Constitution one. There we go. And you'll notice I still have the buff for the movement speed. Now we can move this again to the main character's inventory. There we go. And now he has both buffs. And then once again, you gotta talk to your transmutation wizard, tell him to wait in camp, and then re-invite him back to the party. You know, this only takes a second. This is much faster than the stuff we did with Gale. And then once again, cast Featherfall so you can get that transmutation spell back. And then we can, you know, just rinse and repeat for all your characters. Now, I want to mention, there's a bunch of other ones to cast here, like the resistance ones. You don't need this. Resistances do not stack in this game. Because everyone will have Warding Bond, you are already resistant to everything in the game. Like I said, you only need Constitution saving throw, Dark Vision for Lae'zel, everyone else already has it, it does not improve it, and movement speed. Once you're done with that, we can move on. The next step is to use your Eldritch Knight Hireling. You're going to add Lae'zel to the party, remove Shadowheart, and then you're going to have your Eldritch Knight equip Lae'zel's sword, and then Pact Bind it, and then give it back, and this will prevent Lae'zel from being disarmed later in the act. Next up, you're going to swap the Hireling for Will, who is our Goodberry crafter, and have him spam a bunch of good berries and give them to Astarion to feed his necklace. Then you're going to have Astarion bite Will for the happy buff. Now it's time for your concentrations. You're going to swap back Shadowheart to the party. Lae'zel will cast Protection from Evil and Good on herself. Astarion will cast Shield of Faith on Lae'zel. Shadowheart casts Protection from Evil and Good on herself, and Speak with Animals, and then you, the healer, will cast Protection from Evil and Good on yourself as well. Finally, your elixir buffs for the day. Your healer, Lae'zel, and Shadowheart will all drink Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength. If you don't want to use those and you want to save them for Act 3, you can drink the regular ones. And if you just don't want to use elixirs because you feel like they're cheating, then don't. Astarion will drink the Elixir of Bloodlust. You should have plenty of these if you followed my guide. Once you are done with all of those buffs, this is what your game should look like. I'm going to show you all the buffs here. Our main character has See Invisibility, Warding Bond, Protection from Poison, Long Strider, Aid, Freedom of Movement, Death Ward, Transmutation Stone Movement Speed, Sylvanas' Blessing, Constitution, Protection from Evil and Good, Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength. Astarion has the same thing, except he also has Happy. The temporary hit points, which my main character doesn't have because, you know, I had to slap him around to get Gale to restore his points. I'm going to get this later anyway, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. And Shadowheart has Leviatar's Love. She's also got the, you know, the amulet we got earlier that lets her talk to it for the key point restoration. Speak with Animals. Lae'zel, you know, she's got the temp HP. Check out our stats, our character's stats pages here. It's ridiculous. So, 27 strength on our main, 18 dex, 16 con, 17 int, 16 wisdom, 18 charisma, and these are going to go up by 5 in just a little while. We're going to boost charisma by 5, we're going to boost, you can boost, what is it, I think it's no, it's int, charisma, and wisdom. All of these are going to go up by 5, and it's going to make the game real easy for Act 2. The entire day, no long rest, no short rest needed. Even on honor mode, you don't need to rest. Okay? And you can look at the other character stats. They're all pretty beefy and ready to rumble. Also, everyone is resistant to everything, so that's good. Also, this is what your HP total should look like on Explorer difficulty. And here's your HP totals on any other higher difficulty. Finally, for weapon buffs and enchantments, you can see 21 AC, 19 AC, 22 AC, and 20 AC. Bow has Daylight on it. Lae'zel's sword has Bound Weapon and Daylight, so we're all set. Now, I want to mention, again, this guide will not cover every quest in Act 2. This guide is simply meant to min-max your time getting all the good loot for our 4 builds, and to get a lot of XP along the way, the easy way, the fast way, the most efficient way, and get our butts to Act 3. So, with that said, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to travel west and then curve around south, and there is a goblin camp here, and you are simply to kill them. Just kill them, don't even talk to them, just start blasting. Now, if you want more XP, you want to start blasting before you get within sight range, otherwise they send the hyena off to die, and that's lost XP, that's a lost ear. You want to focus Kanzif first because he casts Fireball. Other than that, these other goblins are very easy to kill. Lae'zel should be able to kill 3. Shadowheart can kill 3. And then the other 2 characters can very easily clean up. This is an easy fight. Just kill them all. Once they're dead, you're going to use your healer, who should have the Spider's Lyre equipped, and then play the Spider's Lyre. Doesn't matter what song you play. This will summon Kar'niss. And there's a few things you can do here. You can just kill him straight up. Or if you want to min-max your XP, you can follow him along, and there will be an ambush. And you can kill the ambushers and then Kar'niss, and that will just give you a little bit more XP than you normally would have. So we're going to do that. With our setup, doing Intimidation is easier than Deception because it will allow you to use Thaumaturgy along with Guidance on one character, giving you advantage. You do have to roll 2 higher than the other choice, but with advantage, it's mathematically superior, so it's much easier to do. So if you are doing Honor Mode, this is the route you want to take. So here's a neat little trick. When you get to this part, you can summon your zombie into this house, which will automatically aggro the Harpers without the dialogue, and Kar'niss will still be on your team, and everything Kar'niss kills will give you XP. So you can just let them fight, and then as far as your zombie goes, well, he's in combat, right? And yeah, just let him chill. Your other characters aren't in combat, so you can have your zombie fight if you want. You can have your zombie attack Kar'niss. Kar'niss doesn't know that you summoned it, so there you go. And then whenever your zombie dies, let Kar'niss clean up. Once he's done cleaning up, he'll be weakened, and then you can finish him off and take his lantern. By the way, you'll need to resummon the zombie and put it in combat, otherwise you don't get XP for Kar'niss's kills. It's only 90 per kill, so it's not a lot, but it's still worth. Another honor mode tip is you can simply summon your zombie at the very, maximum range. As soon as the zombie arises, you can attack Kar'niss, miss or not, it doesn't matter. And then you can resummon the zombie infinite times and rinse and repeat until Kar'niss is dead, meaning you never have to drain your resources or fight him if you don't want to. This is the easiest way to lame it. You don't need to do this in easier difficulties, though. Just a reminder, when you're doing the zombie technique on honor mode, you want to make sure that one of your actual characters finishes off Kar'niss, because you won't get XP if you don't. So, we got him down to 10 health. We're just going to run up and slash him, and then now we get the XP. Once Kar'niss is defeated, you're going to loot his lantern, and I'm going to just send that to camp. We're going to loot the lantern, which triggers a cutscene. There's a fairy in the lantern. So, if you just release the pixie, it's way easier to just traverse the rest of the zone. If you want to be mean and smash the lantern, whichever character you choose to smash it will be cursed with clown face makeup until you cleanse the curse. It's actually pretty funny. If you want to roleplay as Joker or something, then do that. But we're just going to release the pixie, and none of these choices matter. They all have the same end result. So there we go. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to have your summons wait, and then everyone's going to be separate from the party. You're going to take your healer, just your healer, and you're going to go east and then north along this path up here. So by doing this, what we're going to do, let's just walk through this house here, walk over this way. What we're going to be doing is unlocking a fast travel right here at the Ancient Sigil, which, you can just click and walk there, or you can jump. I mean, it's only, it's kind of a big jump, so just go ahead and walk right here to this Ancient Sigil and get that fast travel. Once you have the fast travel, north, kind of northwest, there is a little area over here you're going to jump to. We're just going to jump over there. And right over here, hold your alt key, there's a Night Orchid. You're going to give that to Shadowheart for massive approval. There's nothing in the pouch. Anyway, we're just going to jump right back over. And then we're going to continue up this tree branch east, all the way up this way. And there's many ways to solve this part, but the easiest is to just play the game. Yeah, you can pickpocket the kid and attack him and stuff, but it's way easier to just run up here, as our healer is the one that can see invisibility. So this kid is going to be like, will you play with me? Just play with him, okay? Who are you? It doesn't matter. You want to play? Fine. Alright. And, alright, let's begin. So he's going to run invisible, and he's going to run behind this cart. So we can see invisibility, so we just run to the cart, and there he is. Simple. Alright, then we're going to say, let's play again. And then we're going to enter stealth, which the game should have done for us already. There it is. We're simply going to walk back into the hut. We're going to end turn-based mode, because we're not going to worry about these other characters. And we're just going to sit here at this wooden chest. The child will run all the way back up here, and we'll find him again. So there we go. We can see invisibility, so we don't want to pickpocket him. We're going to unstealth and then talk to him. And then he gives us the Ring of Shadows, and this is insanely useful for Astarion if you want to have him solo murder entire towns. Because it has Pass Without a Trace, which is a pain in the ass to get without multiclassing and being inferior to multiclassing, but because we can just cast it from this ring, we're going to be using this in Act 3 a whole hell of a lot to wipe entire maps full of mobs without them ever breaking stealth. This thing is insane. It gives you a +10 to stealth. Right now, Astarion's stealth is... okay, game, I didn't want to switch to him. I just want to check his stealth, you know, levels or whatever. So his stealth right now is 14. So with a plus 10, that's 24. Like, oh, no one's going to catch that. And then with advantage, you know, that's even more. That's like having a plus 30 to stealth. So there you go. Once you're done with the healer, fast travel back to the waypoint and rejoin your party. The next thing you're going to do is we're going to grab an item and we're going to go slightly south and then hard west. So we're going south down this road. And then once it curves around west, we're just going to go all the way west as much as we can, following into this little house here. And there are invisible enemies, so just, again, summon a zombie so you don't get spooked. Let the zombie be the one that's startled. There we go, zombie. And now you can fight these without being surprised. Once you are done cleaning up the measles, which is kind of a funny name for a mob, they don't really have anything good. But right up here, there is a potter's chest, and we're just going to use Lae'zel to crack it open, because she can jump straight up there, and then she can just smashy smash. There we go. And then the luminous gloves, we can go ahead and grab those, and then equip them to Lae'zel, replacing the wondrous gloves. We'll send that to camp. And yeah, awesome stuff. Now we're going to continue north, curving around west until we get to the last light inn. Now, for a quick XP tip, when you get to the gates here of Last Light, separate your party, take Lae'zel, who is your wearing all the radiant tank stuff, and you're going to run up here, and you're going to tickle this dead raven, which is going to summon a bunch of zombie ravens, you know, Resident Evil style, and Lae'zel will be surprised, but the ravens are just going to explode in holy light, so they'll attack... They'll attack Lae'zel, they'll miss, and then they will explode. And that's how the build works. Oh, it's so funny. And then Lae'zel can clean up the remaining ones. So you can just slap them around, but the crows are all going to pecker and just blow up. Now, once you enter the town, you're going to be approached by Jaheira. So, we're going to say number 1 here, Lost in the Dark. Just this once, I wish people would just say hello. Easy, give me a chance to earn your trust. I am not a true soul. Because of this artifact, tell Jaheira everything you know about the artifact to destroy the absolute enslave. Just number 1 the entire way through, and that'll get you into town. Now, there's a lot of items to get for our builds in this town, and that's why we went here first. Very first thing, as soon as you enter the town gates, on the west side right here is Quartermaster Tally. And if you want to persuade her for some camp supplies, you can. It's really easy to do. But we're going to go, let's see your wares, and this is what we're going to buy. The 3 main things you want to buy are the Cloak of Protection, which is just armor class and saving throw +1. The Shield of Devotion, which we are only using as a swap from Glowing Shield on our healer to either cast Aid, or just have 1 extra spell slot for casting. That's it, it's just a swap. And we're going to get a better shield later in the act anyway. And then Amulet of the Harpers, and the only reason we're wearing this is when we don't need the Periapt of Wound Closure. This gives us advantage on Wisdom saving throw checks, which is just, it makes a lot of things easier in the game, because this game has way more Wisdom saving throw checks than any other check in the game, and to get advantage on that makes everything simple. The only other things that I'm actually buying are just Potions of Flying, Invis, Speed, Arrows. I'm buying Conjure Elemental, Dominate Person, Black Tentacles, Greater Invisibility, Scroll of Seeming. Just, you know, you can refresh this vendor infinitely for potions and for ammo, for arrows, not bullets. There's no bullets. And for scrolls by just getting a hireling, respecking them, and leveling them up next to the vendor. Then you're going to give the Cloak of Protection to Shadowheart. Now, Mattis should also be nearby right here on my screen, so click on him, buy the Cloak of Cunning Broom, and then give it to Astarion. So my game was bugged, and I didn't have them, and so I had to hack this one into the game files, but here it is. And what this does is whenever you cast Disengage, you create a fog cloud, and in combat, as long as your fog clouds are touching, they will not disappear. So you can make a wall of smoke, and this will allow you, combined with a ring we're going to get a little bit later, allow Astarion to solo the rest of the entire game without ever being detected or attacked by enemy AI ever again. Next up, you're going to head north, and you're going to talk to Damon. who is the tiefling that you helped save earlier in the game. So we're going to talk to Damon. From Damon, you're going to buy the Darkfire Shortbow. Now, this is just used to swap in, cast haste, and then swap back out. This is not used to actually do any kind of fighting. More items. So from Damon's Forge, you're going to walk up the stairs here. And inside there will be a chest. We'll worry about those inside, or those perception checks later. So we're going to go inside, and there is a rustic chest here in the back. And you can just go ahead and smash this open. I'm using Lae'zel because she hits the hardest. There we go. And inside is the Rippling Force Mail, which we're going to equip on our healer as our best in-slot armor. So you'll notice that we lose an armor class by putting this on, but we gain Force Conduit, which reduces damage taken up to 7 instead of 2 from the Splint armor. So this is definitely an upgrade. Also, we're going to go to camp, and we're going to equip Gale with the armor that we just took off, the Adamantine Splint armor, to reduce the damage Gale takes when we get hurt. So the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, I'm going to say is optional. I'm personally not going to get it, but you can talk to this strange ox and piss him off, and he'll turn into a giant ooze. You kill him, you grab the Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, which gives you a 1d4 to all checks when you are shapeshifted. The only time that I ever plan to use shapeshifting, if I need to, is with the scroll, which I just bought earlier in the video. The scroll of seeming, there we go. So this will let you disguise, which will give you a +4 to rolls when doing dialogue checks. If you put the ring on, I don't need it though, so I'm not going to get it. Now, from Damon's smithery little area here, you're going to proceed west, down the stairs, and underneath this little area here. So there we go. We are now underneath, curving around south. We're going to enter this door here, which is facing east. Once we are inside the door, we're going to proceed east, and then we're going to go into this northern room here. And there's another way to get here without dealing with combat, but we're going to scoot these boxes out of the way. Just move them out of the way. There we go. Stack them up. And then there's a spider web here. You can just attack the spider web, and that'll kill the spider web. Then we open the doors, and there is a fight up ahead, but we're going to walk through here once again. And there is a cracked wall, which you will need piercing damage for, while Astarion has a piercing damage dagger. So we're going to hit that cracked wall and then break it open. Or you can use bludgeoning. You can punch it down if you want. I'm just gonna dagger it down. There we go. Now inside this hole in the wall, there's a whole area, and there's a bunch of mean locks in here. And on auto mode, they can be kind of dangerous. They can actually be pretty annoying. So I like to just summon a zombie and then group them all up, and then fight, and then have them just come in, you know, a few at a time, fight them this way. But on any other difficulty, you don't have to be so cautious. So go ahead and clear them out. One of the mean locks will have a covert cowl, which this is not really the best item to have, but it's pretty cool. It's just a nice looking helmet. In this room, you'll go through the southeast door here, and then there is a heavy chest and inside, after disarming the trap and lockpicking, of course. And these are very easy to pick, especially with Gloves of Thievery and Astarion as we've built him up. I mean, we have a 17 to 20 bonus, it's a difficulty 10, so unless we roll a 1, there's no failing it, and it just eats one of your kits. So again, this is very easy to open, no problem here. So once we crack it open, we now get the Coruscation Ring, and that's going to go on Lae'zel. Now, there's plenty more to do at Last Light Inn, but we're going to teleport back to the Shadowed Battlefield and go to Moonrise Towers. And to get there, we're going to go from the waypoint southwest all the way down here. One thing I like to do is pick up the Wraithwind Town fast travel, which is when I go southwest, I cross this bridge here, then I just go north, and again, there's no battles, there's nothing to worry about. Just grab that fast travel. At some point on your way to Moonrise, you're going to encounter Minthara, so most of these you can't really fail. I'm just going to answer number 3.
This might be your best,
and then we'll rescue your asset if you end Will's Pact. And then performance is easy to do for us, which is what I recommend. So just do performance because you can, again, do thaumaturgy there. And this is easy to pass. It doesn't, all the ones are pretty easy to pass. So there we go. And if that's done, the next waypoint is Moonrise Towers. So we started at Shadowed Battlefield. We went southwest across the bridge. We went north and got Reithwind Town. Then southwest and got Moonrise Towers. Now I went from the Toll House and went down and around. But you can just go west from Toll House and then south. And that's a lot quicker. I just went around for whatever reason. Before we get more items at Moonrise Towers, we're going to, from the fast travel point, head north. And if you didn't kill the spider holding the lantern or the goblins, they will be here as undeads if you dismiss them or use persuasion to avoid that fight. Which is why you shouldn't do that, because it sucks when they're all undead. And we're going to clear out everything around this little tower here to the north. This is a pretty easy fight. These are level 5 shadows with only 16 HP. 34 on the Cursed Harpers, 9 HP there. They might have a bit more on higher difficulties, but just smash them down. Once you have cleared out the enemies, there are plaques on this this little statue section here. You need to read them in a certain order, so we're going to read the northernmost plaque. I'm going to align my compass here in the top right facing north and spin it around, and this is the plaque on the north, so we'll click that one first. And then on the west side, that one would be over here. We're going to click that plaque next. And then finally, the one on the east side, which is the final remaining plaque, we're going to click that, and it's going to open a secret little tunnel here, which we can now go into and receive some nice buffs. Once you've come down the stairs, the 3 statues will give you a buff. So the northeastern statue will give you +5 to intelligence. I'm wearing the Warped Headband of Intellect, so this doesn't really matter, but I'm just going to put on the main character anyway, because why not? And as a main character, you do have the Cleric ability to get advantage, so just use that. It makes winning the roll much easier. You can bless yourself while someone else gives you resistance if you want. It doesn't matter too much, but there we go. Easy win. That's a +5 int for the rest of the day. And then the center is +5 charisma. So we're going to, again, use our main character because our main character is our charisma character, which will make all dialogue for this act super easy. So again, use our cleric powers, and there you go. Easy win for that. Now we have +5 charisma. And then I'm going to use Shadowheart, and she's going to do the wisdom roll here in the southeast by clicking the plaque, and she is also a cleric. So there we go. Again, we already have plenty of stuff here. We don't need any buffs, and now the reason we gave her the wisdom buff is because as a monk, her wisdom determines how hard she punches with her passives. And then also, this opens a secret little doorway. I'm still going to use Shadowheart, and we're going to make a little blood sacrifice on the altar here. Cleric of Shar, there we go. And that's going to give you some little loot here. So we got Potion of Angelic Reprieve, Necrotic Resistance, which we don't need, and a Scroll of Blight and Revivify. I've got plenty of Revivifies, but I'll take that Scroll of Blight. And there we go. Don't yoink this dagger. If you pick this dagger up, it forces you into a fight, which the XP really sucks. It's a tough fight, even on easier difficulties. And it only exists to drain, you know, your daily resources. So you can now safely leave and go up the stairs. Time to go back to Moonrise Towers, so we're going to take that fast travel back now that we're all buffed up with some awesome plus stats, and everything should be pretty simple. We're going to walk in, and they're just going to let us in because they're dum-dums, and they don't realize that we're going to murder them all here in just a little while. And yes, it is recommended to murder them all, because easier XP that way. And I'm just going to say I have a message from Nier. Who should I report to? And then you can say in her name or leave. It doesn't matter. And that's a plus 45 XP. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to walk south into the Moonrise Towers. And then we're going to take the very first thing west and talk to Land Tarv here. There we go. And then what do you have to offer? And then here's what we're going to buy. You're going to buy the Sentinel Shield and then give that to Astarion, and that will give him more initiative to get the first turn in combat. Next up, just west of Land Tarv, is Roa Moonglow. Hopefully you didn't kill her in Act 1, because she's back once again. From Roa, besides buying useful scrolls and arrows and potions, of course, you're going to buy the Drakethroat Glaive, and this is a swap we're going to use to give bonus damage to anyone else in the party. Later we can twin cast this and buff 2 people's weapons. Now it's time to get a +2 permanent strength potion from the vendors. You're going to return to the main hall room, and facing south, you have the Absolute's door. We're going to go into the door to the left of that. So we're going to go east, and then south into this doorway here. Go ahead and pop that open. And then you're going to talk to Eraj Obladra. Hopefully I said that name right. Whenever you get to this choice, say, I'm listening. Also, you'll need Astarion, which you should have with you by default if you're following my guides. So, there we go. What kind of potion is this exactly? Sounds interesting. Let's do it. We're going to pick number 3 here. There we go. And if you want to get approval from Astarion, which you should do, you should say he's his own person. Because you will get disapproval when he bites into her anyway. So go ahead and pick number 1 here. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. And then say, just bite her. The potion sounds useful.
Sorry, but because
So
there's something wrong with her.
then you're going to say, don't be dramatic. It's just a bite. One nip and you're done. There you go. Yes, she tastes awful. I know. But the potion's super worth it. Also, you can talk to her with each character, and depending on your race, you'll get a different potion. So you might as well grab it. It's free. When you're done getting the potion, open her trade and buy the Thunderskin Cloak, put it on your healer, and the Risky Ring, which we might use in Act 3. I'm still doing the math on it to see if it's worth using, but go ahead and buy it anyway. Also, feel free to talk to her with every other character, so I'll talk to her with Astarion here.
Welcome back.
And then I'll say, I hear you trade potions for True Soul Blood. And then, alright, let's do it. And then you get a free potion, and it's dependent on your race, but just do this with every character that you feel like. Before we recruit Minthara, we do need to get more items, so do not step into this main room. We want Kethic Thorn and his dog, Squire, to be in the main room. So we don't want to mess this part up. This part is actually pretty easy to do. We're going to head north and simply walk out to the front entrance here of the Moonrise Towers, and this is going to be a mission for Astarion, who's going to break into a bedroom and steal an item for us. So as Astarion, what you're going to do, you're going to push O to go into the overhead camera mode and then zoom out as much as you can. And your mission is to get up here up top. There's a few ways for you to do that. You can drink a potion of flying, or you can shoot an arrow of teleportation, which I have 6 of, so I'm going to try to shoot an arrow of teleportation. Looks like that's not working too well, but over here on the east side, I'm going to zoom my camera in just a little bit because it's a little foggy. There's a platform right up here, this wooden platform, which I could just shoot. You can also use a buff to your jumping ability. Path is interrupted. Let's see. Okay, we can shoot that ladder. So I'm going to shoot the teleportation up here. And then now we can climb the ladder. There we go. Now, there's 2 doors. We're going to go to the rightmost door, or the westernmost door, the southwesternmost door, and we're going to lockpick it. So this one's a little bit harder to lockpick, so we're going to get some guidance, and with all of our bonuses, we should be able to do it. Okay, we got a crit nat 20, so... But it's pretty easy to do. We have plenty of Thieves' Tools. If you fail, it will break a Thieves' Tools, you just try again. It's not that of a trouble. So now we're going to walk through the door, and inside, there's stuff you can loot and do here, but this room is unimportant. What's important is the room to the southwest here, which is this room. We're going to lockpick this door now. And there's no dog in this bedroom to bug us, because we haven't triggered, you know, the dog moving away yet. Another nat 20, holy crap. Let's go, we're in here now. And this chest is a mimic, so what you want to do is you want to, let's see, cast Disengage here. Cast a few Disengages, actually, because we want to make some fog clouds. And then we're going to enter turn-based mode so these fog clouds don't go away. We're then going to ranged attack the wooden chest, because again, it's a mimic. There we go, there's the mimic. And then we're going to bonus action Disengage so that there's another fog cloud, and then bonus action Hide, and then end our turn, which is going to put our other characters into, you know, having them do a turn, whatever. We're going to wait for the environment to do its thing, and then we'll go back to Astarion here. Or, I mean, this mimic is not that difficult, but it's just nice to do. So, again, we're going to walk out of the fog cloud, fire an arrow at the mimic, There we go. And that now put us in official battle. And then we're going to disengage so that we make another fog cloud, walk back into our previous fog clouds, and then use our second bonus action to hide. And you can see that the Mimic can't see us. We have high stealth. The Mimic's just going to be sitting there like a doofus. And we're going to... We don't have the ring yet to be able to shoot inside our fog cloud, so we have to step outside of the fog cloud and then fire. So now we're no longer blinded, so we're going to shoot again. There we go. Now that we're outside of the fog cloud, we create a new one by disengaging. Walk into the fog clouds, and then hide. And you just rinse and repeat till this thing is dead. It's really, really, really simple. So one more shot, it's dead. Gonna walk back out, take them out. And when we get the ring, it's so much faster. There we go. The Mimic is dead. And inside the Mimic is the Spine Shudder Amulet, which we're going to give to Lae'zel. Also, there's some other junk in here. You can, you know, play around with it if you want. Now take Astarion and teleport him back to the Moonrise Towers waypoint, because you don't want him jumping off the roof and taking any damage, and then reunite him with the party. There are 3 more items for us to get in this act, and we're going to get them before we do anything else, before we progress the story, or do a bunch of fights, or, you know, meat grinding, or murder hoboing, whatever you want to call it. But for now, we're going to teleport the group back to Moonrise Towers fast travel. I know it's only across the bridge. And we're going to go north and as west as possible and get a fast travel to leave the act. We're not going to actually leave the act. We're just going to get the fast travel for now. So, again, we're going to go north up to this one tower where we got those buffs. And then we're going to curve around and then go west. So this is what it looks like on the map from Moonrise Towers. I went north, and then here's that tower with the buffs we got. And then I just go straight west. Now, I want to mention, on honor mode, don't proceed any further, because there is an ambush right here. And on honor mode, they will kick your butt. So what you need to do in honor mode, separate one character from the party, have them drink an invisibility potion, and then run up and grab the waypoint. That is a way to do it. Or just save this till last. It's a Githyanki ambush, but on all other difficulties in honor mode, just go ahead and run up and kill them all. Once you've gotten the waypoint and cleared the Githyanki ambush, it's time to head north, and just barely north is this pathway. So here's the bridge. Go up here, your characters will climb this naturally and head north, and you're going to clear out all of these mobs, and when you clear them out, you're going to go down into the morgue here. So go ahead and do that. Once you are inside the morgue, go ahead and pop open these double oak doors. Then run backwards or to the side here, kind of out of the way. Make sure your party follows you. Then summon your own zombie. Just pop them out. Then take your zombie, your whatever this guy's name is, the zombie's name. And on the ground are multiple other zombies. And just attack one. That's going to wake everybody up. It's a nice little ambush that you just avoided there. Then from here, you can take out the zombies, no problem. Once the zombies are done, you're going to separate the party and then take Astarion, and this is a solo jaunt for him. Later, he'll be joined by Lae'zel for some smashing. If you want to do it, I recommend avoiding the combat encounter I'm going to show you on honor mode. It's just not worth the XP, but for now, we're going to take Astarion here and lockpick this door all the way to the west. It is a difficulty 18, but it's super easy to do. And there we go. Nat 20. Hey, we're getting all Nat 20s this video, unlike the other one where we lost every roll. Once you're inside this spooky room here, on the left side is a Carabazan's Poison. Really good for Astarion, so go ahead and grab that. Then there's a lever that you should go ahead and pull. We're going to pull that lever. Then up here, you got some Elixir of Hill Giant Strength, Potion of Superior Healing, some cold, nasty congealed blood. If Astarion gets thirsty, not really. Just go ahead and grab the potions here. But this opulent chest is what we're after. We're going to go ahead and disarm it. Again, with Astarion, this is super easy. There we go, 38. Boy, oh boy. And then lockpick it. And you're going to be glad you got this item. This item's really good. So pop it open, and there you go. That is the Eversight Ring. So this makes it where you cannot be blinded. So we're going to pop that bad boy on right now because it's insanely useful. And what I'm going to take off is the Strange Conduit Ring, since I'm not really going to be concentrating on anything for a while. I don't really need this. This is just a good swap to put on if you want. You could throw this on Shadowheart for now if you want. I wouldn't replace any of Lae'zel's stuff, but yeah, there you go. And so what this does is that whenever we disengage, we make a fog cloud. But now we can't be blinded, so we can shoot from within the fog cloud, which means AI will never target us ever again. Next up, we're going to take Astarion over here to this metal door. We're also going to take Lae'zel and go to the metal door as well. And this door is a little bit harder to breach, so if you followed my guide, your Astarion should be more than powerful enough to open this door. Go ahead and lockpick it. This one is a difficulty 30. Make sure you pop on guidance, and there you go. So we are able to get it open. Go ahead and pair Astarion up with Lae'zel in the party menu so that they both walk in tandem together. And then you're going to use Lae'zel for her acrobatic feats. Now, if you drank the Elixir of Cloud Giant Strength, then your Lae'zel is more than capable of jumping across this gap with her natural talents. Otherwise, you will have to use her Misty Step or her Githyanki Psionic Jump powers. Go ahead and pick up this gilded chest here.
Quickly then.
And then we're just going to jump back over. Drop the chest for Astarion here, and Astarion will now lockpick that one open. And this cape we're going to replace in literally the next area, but it's good for the next few fights, okay? Capes are rare, you might as well pick them up. And here we have a Flesh Melter Cloak. We're going to go ahead and give that for now. Well, we're just going to pick it up with Lae'zel, since she's already here. Just go ahead and equip that to her. Again, we're replacing her cloak in literally the next area. But for 2 fights, we're going to use a Flesh Melter Cloak. Why not? So this next part is a fight, which is optional. You don't have to do this fight, you can skip it. But I like to do it for the XP. And we're going to take Lae'zel, jump across that gap once again, jump across this gap. And it's okay that your Lae'zel gets beat up because we're going to be replacing her fairly soon. So feel free to take the big heavy jumps here. It's totally fine. And we're going to make her descend down into this acid pit. Now remember, we're pretty much resistant to everything. There is a bunch of enemies down here. And we're going to get surprised as soon as we jump down here. There we go. She is now surprised. Astarion here up top can improvise, you know, or rather, he can throw this chest onto something down below and deal a lot of damage because this is a heavy, heavy chest. So feel free to throw this on top of enemies. Path is interrupted. Okay, well, that sucks. Well, that is because I'm standing on the wrong side. But yes, Astarion can take this chest and then chunk it down on enemies. Let's throw it on this ooze here. Now, when we do that, there's something that we need to make sure we do. There we go, 116 damage to the chest. Unfortunately, I guess I didn't hit the ooze that much. What you want to do with Astarion is you can shoot down below, but after you're done shooting, you need to run away from the ledge and hide and fog cloud yourself. Because if you don't, these enemies can pull you down into the pit. I think it's the hollow armor that does it. But, you know, Lae'zel is more than powerful enough to handle herself down here. You know, we can kill an ooze, turn around, you know, maybe kill another ooze. Okay, not that time, but just finish up the fight. After the fight is over, you can jump back up to the top. But instead of returning to where Astarion is, you're going to continue through the cave, and it's just a shortcut to another fast travel point. So we're going to go north and leave the cave, and yeah, there's like a backpack and stuff here, but it never has anything in it. Even after patch 6, let's see. Nope, still nothing. Okay, there we go. So we're going to leave the ominous cave, and what the heck was that? Astarion followed us outside. I've never had that happen. That actually, that's weird. We're going to separate him. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. He's supposed to stay on his side of the cave. But it doesn't matter. Okay, he's hiding. He's chill. We're going to avoid this little fishing docking area for now. Don't walk near that. Instead, we're going to use Lae'zel's jumping powers to completely bypass it. And just jump up these ledges here. There we go. And up and at 'em. And then we're going to go south once we've, you know, jumped up top here. And we're going to continue. We're going to avoid Raphael for now. And we're just going to jump around them, okay? So we're headed south. And yes, we can. You can dig this up if you want. And then there is the Ancient Sigil Circle fast travel waypoint or the Grand Mausoleum, which we will now take Astarion and teleport him up top, and everyone else. Go ahead and just drag the whole team together. You know, might as well. You don't have to, But there's no fights or anything. But it's always nice for the pals to stick together. You know, the Brady Bunch or the Scooby-Doo crew, whatever you want to call them. Go ahead and grab, oh, what's her name? Shadowheart. It's been a long day of filming, guys. And group them back together. Everyone's nice and back. And also, yes, Lae'zel is wounded, I know, but it's fine.
If not,
now you can approach Raphael. I'm going to do a little safety save so I don't mess this up. And then we're going to make sure that we talk about Astarion's scars while we're here. So we're talking to Raphael, blah, blah, blah. I picked number one. Number one. Number one. Number one. Friendship and guidance. Don't use friendship on honor mode. There we go.
In truth,
number one.
So if you
oh boy.
Which I should not relish its
number one.
You
Alright, and there we go. So, okay, Astarion was in stealth mode. That's why we safety saved, because we didn't talk about his scars. Let's try that again. I'm gonna load game, and I'm gonna unstealth Astarion. I guess Raphael didn't notice him there. He was off hiding in the back. So make sure Astarion isn't stealthing, otherwise you won't get the dialogue. Okay, now that Raphael saw Astarion, there's a proposal. Anyway, so, what scars? And then he takes his shirt off. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Alright. Also, on this screen, you can click deal. Will help you if you help Astarion. It doesn't really matter, though, because he'll help Astarion regardless. Now that you got through all that dialogue, make sure another safety save. We're going to head into the mausoleum entrance. We're not going to do the full thing, though. We're just grabbing the items right now so we can go murder hoboing to get some levels. We're going to go ahead and open this iron fence. And then on the east side, there is a room and a chest. Pretty sure the chest, traveler's chest. Right over here in the south side. And you can just bash this sucker open. You can use Lae'zel to smash it, or whoever. But inside is a vivacious cloak, and we're going to put that on Lae'zel. I told you we're only having her wear that cape for one fight. And there we go. Put that bad boy on. And you're gonna be wondering, why the hell isn't Lae'zel wearing the Thunderskin cloak? And the reason is you have to be actually hit for it to trigger. Whereas Lae'zel, well, once she respecs and becomes Minthara and becomes a tank, she won't be attacked. She won't be hit anymore ever. But as Minthara, you'll be able to cast spells, and this is your heal if you do get hit. So there you go. And this is just extra safety in case, like this, when the enemies get dazed, they don't want to attack you again. This is anti-aggro on your healer. Alright, now we're going to proceed north into the northernmost room here in the mausoleum. This is where we're at. And this is the puzzle solution. So, there are 3 buttons we have to hit. First button is right here on the right side, or the west side. This is called Moonrise Towers. We're going to hit that button. There we go, it's going to glow. Then on the east side is the grief painting. We're going to hit that button. There we go, hit that button. And yes, there's traps everywhere, but it's old, they're dead, they don't work, who cares. So, finally, on the north side is the general. You're going to hit that button. There you go. And that will open the pathway. Woo! Spooky. Then we're going to go down into the Gauntlet of Shar, but we're not going to complete this right now. We're just grabbing one more item down here, and then we can go rescue Minthara and murder hobo the whole act. Alright, skipping that cutscene. So I'm going to explain the puzzles as we go through the gauntlets. We're going to proceed north and open the door. This is the quickest and easiest way to get to this item. So, here we go. Again, we're opening the north door here. So we're going to pop that bad boy open. And then while facing the camera north, we're going to do this puzzle, and this is how you do it. I'm going to separate my characters so they don't walk into the force field. And I guess I'm going to separate my summons too. And we're going to go all the way to the east side here. Just like this. There's a vent there. Who cares? Walk near the force field. Then you're going to curve around and push that button. So it looks like this without touching the force field. And there you go. So to solve this puzzle, you have to turn off these Mystic Thurible lights so that you can see the force fields. That's the solution. Now, from here, we're going to go west this way. And don't worry about the traps. It's whatever. Who cares? They're not gonna hurt you. Walk up the stairs, continuing west. And you can loot the sarcophagus if you want. There's just some gold. Alright, but you're gonna jump across these little mushrooms. Yay! And the summons can come too. You don't want to leave them in the temple. Come on, summons. I can't do a whistling sound. But, you know, here they come. And you're gonna jump across these mushroom platforms headed west. There we go. We're headed west. Now, there is one fight in here. It's a very easy fight. It's so easy. And what we're going to do is we're just going to walk all the way to the southern top. We're not going to go down. We're just going to walk over here. And with our healer as the leader, he can see invisibility. So we're going to get right over here. And there is the cloaker. And now all we're going to do is just summon a zombie next to it and then ranged attack it down. That's all we're doing. So there we go. It's in a fight with a zombie. And it's summoning more phantasms. That's fine. Don't worry about the phantasms. And phantasms are just gonna like freak out on the zombie. And then we're just gonna use ranged attacks on the cloaker. That's all there is to it. Boom, 18. That's his turn. Astarion, you know the drill. I don't have to record this part. Also, the chest under the cloaker has some money and a random scroll. It won't be polymorph for you. It could be, probably not though. Then proceed north through this doorway. Now at this point, we're just here for one item, so if you want, you can separate the whole party, grab Astarion. It's another solo adventure for him. We're gonna lockpick the door. Go ahead. There it is. Difficulty 14. Super easy for him. It's just another day in the office. Once you enter the room here, there's a bunch of crap you could loot if you want. It's, you know, it's whatever, man. And go ahead and proceed. Now, there's some rats here, and they're praying to an altar. So, if you pray to the altar, you gain necrotic resistance, which, hey, guess what? We're already resistant to everything. You don't have to you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to interact with the rats. You can kill the rats if you want. I mean, you're going to kill them later anyway, but for now, we're not. And you can use this lever to open this door or pick it. It's up to you. There we go. And, well, that didn't open the... Okay, yeah, that unlocked the door. We're going to stealth. And we're going to walk around these doofuses that want us to have a little battle where they summon some orbs and do some other tricky things. We're not into that right now. We'll do it later. They can wait. It's okay. It's not their turn yet. What we're going to do is we're going to stealth to this north door, this vault door. Come closer. We have candy. Not right now. Also, vampires don't... Do vampires like candy? Blood-flavored candy? Anyway, lockpick the door. It's difficulty 30, so you're gonna have to, you know, do a little bit more of elbow greasing. That's not how you say that phrase. Anyway, it broke our stealth, but it doesn't matter. We're in the vault. Go ahead and loot the chest. Look at all this cool stuff. And, you know, we'll just, you know, pick up all that stuff there in that first chest, the second chest. Hey, look at that. Good stuff all around. The third chest is what we're after. This one has the Callous Glow Ring. We're gonna give that bad boy to Lae'zel. And now we're ready to murder Hobo. So at this point, I take the Crusher's Ring and I give that bad boy to Shadowheart for more movement speed. Then I put on the Callous Glow Ring. And Lae'zel, aka Minthara here soon, is full best in slot. Her build is complete. But because this is default Lae'zel and not Radiant Tank Minthara, we gotta go get Minthara. But before we do that, we want to at least hit level 8. Just makes things easier. Now it's time to get some easy XP, and to do that, we're going to run Lae'zel down into the ground, because, like I said, this is the last time we're gonna be using her. So, we're gonna take Lae'zel and teleport to Wraithwind Town. Just Lae'zel, you don't need anybody else. I mean, if you want to bring the whole group, you could, but from Wraithwind Town, pan the camera west into the building, and you're going to position Lae'zel at the bottom of this little staircase here. So just go ahead and click that, and she will pathfind her way over here. It's a pretty short jaunt. And we're going to pan the camera up the stairs, and whenever you see Gary Goth Thorm over here at the safe, which it's a little hard to see, but we're going to just chug an invisibility potion on Lae'zel, walk up the stairs, and whenever this character here, this Gary Goth Thorn, is over here at the window seal facing south, we're going to get behind her while we're invisible, get that turn-based mode, and then use pushing melee attack on the boss. And this is a boss, by the way. 96% chance to hit. Here we go. And it's like a baseball bat. Look at her fly. So what we just did is we knocked a boss all the way really far down here. And let's see. Is it currently our turn? It is. And we're just going to go near the windowsill here. And we don't have any more attacks. I wish we did, but we currently don't. So we're just going to in-turn. These little skulls are going to run up and attack us, and that's fine. And what we're going to do is we're going to kill the boss before she gets up. And if she does get up, it doesn't matter. She's at 23 HP. We can just shoot her. She's dead. Also, these skulls they sure are taking their time to move. Not sure. There they go. Now, these skulls will go away once we kill the boss. So there's no reason to really kill them. They don't give XP. I'll even show you. I'll kill one. Like, they have 23 HP. They're one-shottable, right? So I can kill a skull, and then I'll finish off the boss with a ranged attack, and that's the fight. Oh, well, they do give XP now, so smash all the skulls, because they'll despawn after the boss. By the way, the boss is already all the way down here. If she has 4 HP now, so you can just one-shot her anytime. There is an achievement for killing her before she uses any of her gold. So if you want the achievement, kill her first, load your game, then come back, kill the skulls, then kill her, maximize that XP gain. Now, this boss has an interesting weapon, which I'm not going to be using, but it's called Twist of Fortune. Its special ability lets you deal more damage whenever you consume the target's gold, so you can reverse pickpocket, give people a bunch of gold, and then one-shot them with the blood money ability. I'm not going to be using this weapon. I'm just going to go ahead and pick it up just because it's kind of cool. And yeah, there you go. Alright, so Lae'zel is now going to teleport to Moonrise Towers. And our next contestant is our main character, our charismatic social character, who is going to transform also to the Moonrise Towers. And this character is going to do a little bit of drinking. So, again, why did it switch to Lae'zel again? I don't know. Go to Moonrise Towers on the healer, and from Moonrise Towers, we're going to take a sharp west into this building. This is the Waning Moon building, and we're gonna just do a little safety save in case we screw up. If you're on honor mode, you can skip this step because you might screw things up, but your healer can technically tank this fight until it's easier to do. And you're gonna walk up and talk to Thizzobald Thorn, and we're gonna get a bunch of inspiration from this guy. So it's just a drinking game. We're gonna sit down, and what is it you're serving? Pick up the tankard, and you can do saving throws, you can do sleight of hand, you can do cleric saving throws. So we're gonna do that because, you know, advantage is nice to have. And we'll go ahead and do resistance. Bless is the exact same thing. So there we go. And we're just going to continue to do this and exhaust all the dialogue. Once the bartender explodes in a pile of guts, get Lae'zel in here and kill all the neutrals. Now, I'll mention if you do the fight normally, it's annoying because he's basically immune to non-elemental damage. And it takes a while, and you get 500 XP, but if you talk him into blowing himself up, it's 520 XP and it's much faster. Oh, and you can level up Lae'zel and just pick whatever. I just picked ability improvement. Again, we're not going to be using her for very much longer. Once you've cleaned up the bar, it's time to clean up the docks. You're gonna take your Lae'zel, teleport to the Grand Mausoleum, and remember that fish area that I told you to avoid? Well, you're going to unavoid it and go kill some fish boys. That's right, we're just gonna leap and jump as a frog lady would. A lot of people call Lae'zel a frog lady. I think she's more like an alien lady, but whatever. We're gonna go down to the docks. And yeah, she's a little wounded, she's a little battered. Go ahead and use that second wind, why not? You know, boom, pump your fists, get 11 HP. I don't know how that works, but we're gonna get surprised here. And here's the fun part about being surprised. We're gonna go into the door. We're not gonna break the sides. We're gonna make the enemies break the sides. And when we touch this chest, they're all gonna jump out. There they are. And yeah, just kill them all. You can solo this as Lae'zel. Maybe not on honor mode, but everyone else can. There's a reason we're using Lae'zel for this. Look at all their health bars. We haven't even attacked them. We one-shot everything that we come across. We can attack multiple times, so that's 1. That's 2. And then we have our great weapon attack against this guy that's prone. That's 3. and then we end our turn, and everyone else gets prone and knocked down and reverberated, and they're never gonna land hits. Once the fish people are dead, then you're gonna teleport to the Grand Mausoleum. Now for this next step, you wanna bring your full party, or at least your talking character, and you're going to just travel straight south. That means across this tree branch into this building here. And boy, oh boy, did they glitch out. Did y'all see that stretch and then unstretch? Oh man. So once you're in the House of Healing, you can climb down this roots right here. So go ahead and climb down the roots. There we go. Down we go. And climb down the roots once again. And I just want to remind you, even though patch 6 hit, they still didn't fix this glitch. If you want to heal Lae'zel, if you want to cheat, open your difficulty, increase it, and then decrease it, and then ta-da, you gain some HP. We're at 114 health, and now we are at 151. We're fully healed. So again, if you want to cheat, you can, but you're gonna go ahead and kill Malice Storm. If you're on honor mode, I would try the persuasion route and bring your full party. But if you're on easier difficulties, then it doesn't really matter. Again, I can solo this with Lae'zel, and this is a really cool scene, so you'll have to watch it yourself. After further testing, I have min-maxed the XP on this dialogue. You're gonna need to bring your healer for the talking. Click a student, yes, do enlighten me. Then you're going to use your cleric religion to pass the roll. Give yourself guidance, that's fine. Easy to pass that one. The next one is a little bit harder. You're going to, your subject is tainted. Shar's succor must only be granted to the willing. Then you're going to do, the sisters require a willing volunteer, a master of the art. And this one's pretty hard to pass. It is a 21. And you can give yourself friends for advantage. There you go. Or give them friends. You can't do that in honor mode, so just stick with guidance. And try to pass this one without spending any of your inspiration points, so you can really maximize the XP. So there we go. I'm gonna skip this cutscene real quick because it's pretty brutal. Now check this out. We got 640 experience, and then look at this. Acolyte did my homework, plus 75 XP, and then you get Inhumane Trials. That's another plus 75 EXP. And there's way more. This is so many inspiration points. Familicide, that's from Lae'zel. Oh man, yeah, the XP just pours in. It's crazy how good this is. An apple a day keeps the scalpel away. No, it doesn't. I wish, that would be cool. If you could eat one thing for the rest of your life every day and be healthy, it'd be nice. But anyway, basically, Malice Thorn lays on the table, and all the nurses stab him to death. It's pretty fun, and you definitely need to loot this battered loot. Go ahead and loot that. You can loot the money. You can loot all this other crap, too, if you want. And you don't need the key. And you can send this to camp, whatever. And then have Lae'zel or whoever just kill these sisters. Kill the nurses. They're pretty easy. And, you know, they're worth a good amount of XP, so just clean them up. Once you've cleared out the nurses, go ahead and move south through the double oak doors. And up here to the east, there is a nurse that you can buy stuff from, or you can just kill her. We're just going to kill her and then take her loot, but if you wanted to use her as a vendor, you can. And then we need to inspect these two corpses also, but we're just going to kill her real quick. There we go. And then we're going to click on the corpses there. And so this is Arabella's father. And the mother too, so that sucks. It sucks for Arabella, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, look who's over there, it's Arabella. Literally, you know, a screen away. So we're going to go out throughout the northeast door here. And around the corner. And then we're going to talk to Arabella by opening the fence. Let's see. And, yeah, so what we're going to do is tell her parents are dead. It sucks, but that's just how it is. Hello, Arabella. And then, hey, she's waving. Look, some shadows happen. She binds them.
Knocks the wind right out of
What are you doing out here? It's not safe.
You notice the girl shivering.
Let's see. Your parents are dead. Sorry to say.
You lie.
And then persuasion check. There we go.
Find him, I will.
Friends, because why not? Easy, easy, easy. Alright, now she'll go to the camp. See you later. That's another plus 75 EXP. And then, hey, look, these shadows that are just bound here, just derping around, just chilling, guess what? They're also free XP, so just smash them. Boom. Plus 90 EXP, and then there's another one to kill. We'll just go ahead and just blast. Oh, crit, really, dude? teleport the party back to Moonrise Towers, and we're going to do our level ups because everyone should be level 8 at this point, though a little bit over. That's totally fine. And so for your healer, you're going to go Storm Sorcerer. So here we go, Cleric level 8. We don't want to be a Cleric though. And to multi-class, once again, you have to change your difficulty from Explorer to Balance. I get so many comments about this. So again, if you can't multi-class, change your difficulty, and then you can hit this multi-class button, and we're going to go Sorcerer. And then for our spells, we are going to pick Chromatic Orb, which is already selected for us here, and then any kind of shield spell. So cantrips, these don't matter too much. You can pick whatever you want. I personally went with Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, Ray of Frost, and Bone Chill. And for spells, I went Chromatic Orb and Shield. Now, again, subclass is going to be Storm Sorcery. And when you cast a level 1 spell, you can fly as a bonus action, meaning you can reposition if you're getting surrounded as a healer. It's very important to be able to fly. But even though we can technically fly for free later, or with potions, we're still going to be using Storm Sorcery in the later levels for the most benefit. For Shadowheart, who is your monk character, your monk tank, you just put another level into monk. You get some passives, evasion and stillness of mind. These are pretty cool, so no big brain stuff needed. For Astarion, you're going to put your level into Cleric, so you should have 4 levels of Cleric, 4 levels of Rogue. Your cantrip does not matter at all. And prepared spells, just use whatever you feel like. You're not really using much spells at all. And here's the argument, right? Ability improvement, putting 2 more into dexterity helps you with stealth, it helps you with all sorts of fun things. But for pure damage, and that's what we care about, Sharpshooter is a +10. It's a +10. You want damage with Astarion. He's your damage dealer. He's your hardest hitting character in the entire game. Go with Sharpshooter. Now, before we get Minthara, we're going to do a little bit of XP farming and getting some tadpoles. So at Moonrise Towers, we're going to go south into the entrance here. We're going to shut the doors so there's no witnesses, and we're going to kill everyone outside. Now, this Adept Merim and Zealot Malik will both drop tadpoles. So let's just get those gates closed, get our party surrounding, right here in the middle, nice and snug. We'll put a zombie over there for the 2 ghouls to play with, and then Lae'zel can get the opening strike. And yeah, just kill everything out here. Once they're dead, and remember, it's Merim and Malik. Go ahead and get 2 tadpoles. So, we're going to enter, going through the south doors. Once you get into this main little foyer here, we're going to turn east and walk through the eastern door. This is where, well, this is just a little area here. You're going to go in here, and the next tadpole is on Linzella. Now, you can talk to her, and you could do a little game where you can make these gnolls turn on her and kill her. Or you can just kill everything in here. I'm just going to kill everything. From here, I'm going to teleport everyone back to the Moonrise Towers fast travel. It's just faster and easier this way, in my opinion. We're going to go back into the main foyer, and this time we're going to go through this rightmost door, down into the prison area, and there's a few we need to grab here. They're not too hard to get, but we're going to go through this door. Gotta wait for my characters to run there. And technically, if you want, you can murder hobo everything out here, but I tried it earlier, and the entire castle, first floor, second floor, etc., like if you wipe out all of Moonrise Towers, it's 8,000 experience, which is not too bad. It's a little time consuming. It took about 40 minutes to do. So anyway, once you're down here in the prison area, you will turn to the north and go through these heavy oak doors. And there are 2 tadpoles out here to grab. Now, if you're not playing on honor mode, I would just make a save. If you're playing on honor mode, be prepared to kill everything out here. And I'm just going to make a little quick safety save. There we go. And run up east through the docks, and you're going to see this Zentarim shipping crate. Now, don't attack this. Instead, what you're going to do is steal it. And they're going to get mad. That's normal, perfectly normal. And so I'm going to talk my way out of it. And I'm going to use persuasion. Do you really care if this odd trinket goes missing? Like, do you really care, bro? Like, friendship and guidance. Let's go. It's a real easy thing to pass. And there you go. They don't care. We convinced them. It's ours now. And just by picking it up, that gave us 2 tadpoles. Now, let me just tell you about this barrel, because this barrel is awesome. This is a caustic explosion barrel with a very large radius, so it will put a very large circle of acid on the ground. And so I'm just going to send this to my camp because, you know, it is a little weighty. But there you go. It's not quite an explosive barrel. It's an acidic barrel. Also, you can kill everyone out here if you want the XP, but we're going to move on to the next tadpole. We're going to go back into the prison, and we're going to go in the west here, and then we're going to curve around south. And this will be a mission for Lae'zel. Lae'zel will do a little solo mission here. And earlier on, if we killed the guard, we could avoid doing this, but it's just easier to just have Lae'zel do it. So I'm going to separate the party, grab Lae'zel, jump her over the bridge here. And you want to make sure she has some amount of HP, because we're going to throw her down this hole. And yeah, if you want, you could feather fall her, but it's only 30 damage. Which Gale also takes, by the way, because of warding bond. And there's a lot of voices going on right now. Okay, so we're going to go right up here to this corpse. This is northwest, and we're just going to go to Zealot Krizzed.
You should take a look.
And there's a tadpole on that body. Pretty simple stuff. There we go. I can send the rest of this stuff to camp. Which is funny because I can't fast travel at the moment, but I can still warp things to camp, which is always, I don't know, fun. There's a dead goblin in here. It doesn't have anything good. You're going to proceed east and get the heck out of here. There we go. And there's a fight up ahead. So we're just going to leap right into the fight. You can stealth around if you want. And, you know, get the jump on these two things. On the easier difficulties, these are not dangerous. They're hook horrors. Our Lae'zel is more than powerful enough to take these out. But yeah, we can just stealth right up to this one and just murder it. And my game is not loading. But yeah, just go ahead and take these dudes out. Once they're dead, proceed northwest here. And you'll just climb out of the hole. Go ahead and climb out of the hole here. There we go, Cragged Rock. And from here, you can fast travel back. It's actually pretty quick to do so. Otherwise, you just end up, you know, up here behind the prison cells. You can jump down if you want. Yeah, let's just do that. Screw the fast travel. And because we might as well kill the warden while we're up here. I'll go ahead and show you that too. Because the warden has a nice amulet for our healer. And let's just go ahead and jump down here. -7 HP is fine. Only -3 because of warding bond. And we're going to go into this little middle area here. I'm just going to jump. Lots of jumping in this little section. And this door, well, it's, you know, it's locked, but hey, we're just gonna, you know, smash her open, that's fine. And there's the warden, so we're gonna just kill the warden now. And die, warden, die. You were assaulting someone, oh no. And yeah, the warden goes invisible, so you'll just have to wait a turn for them to reveal. They're kind of a ranged kite build. They like to just attack and run away. They'll probably run up the ladder. And then, oh no, this thing saw us, whoop-de-doo, right? So. So be prepared to fight multiple things. But we're gonna loot an amulet off the warden. So just kill everything you can. They won't alert the upper floors, it's fine. So the warden has this, the Spellcrux amulet. You can give this to your healer if you want. You can give it to... Oh, I'm being arrested. Alright, just kill everybody that bugs you down here. Also in this tower, these switches opens the cells. I wouldn't open them right now until you murder hobo everything else and there's no enemies left at all. Then free the prisoners. But yeah, while you're down here, just kill the rest of the guards. It's good XP. While you're down here, you can talk to Wolbrin and the Tiefling and tell them, use Persuasion, that you'll break them out. And that's another 120 XP. So while you're down here, there's a couple enemies you shouldn't kill because it gets a little buggy when you free Minthara. And that is, in this room, there are these two questioners. If you kill them, the NPCs will start acting a little weird. There's going to be two of these like looking characters, these zealots or these whatever they are, the adepts, and they will like follow Minthara around. They'll be leashed to her if you kill them before you free Minthara. So just leave them alone for now. I would leave all these characters alone and come back later to kill them. Next up, what I'm going to recommend that you do is you take Lae'zel and you take Shadowheart, your two highest DPS characters. and you just clean out everything that is not in this main room. Because when you walk in this main room, if you aggro anything in here, it red flags the entire zone. It makes Ketheric just skip all the dialogue, and if Minthara dies, she perma-dies. So, in honor mode, you want to wait and come back later with Jaheira's army to clean this out, but in all the other difficulties, it's fine. Just start killing everything on the first floor. Once you've cleared the first floor, hop up these rafters as you did earlier, and then you can clear out the second and third floors and the top floor. And the reason we're clearing it out now is because Ketheric is sitting here doing nothing, whereas normally he's at the top floor. And you really want to have the top floor cleared before you fight him later. You want to have the first floor cleared before Jaheira's army shows up later. It just makes things way easier, and we'll hit level 9 before we do the harder parts of Act 2. Now, a few things I want to mention is there's a few NPCs you don't want to hurt. For instance, don't hurt Eraj Obludra because you need her for Act 3 stuff. I wouldn't mess with this pilgrim either that's in her room. And then Roa Moonglow is going to aggro, but if you just knock her out and don't lethally kill her and her Goonies, you should be fine for a small interaction with her in Act 3, though if you do kill her, it's not the end of the world. We don't need her for anything. It's just a fun little side quest you can do in Act 3. Now that I've cleared out most of Moonrise Towers, let's go get Minthara finally. I've also kicked Astarion out temporarily, just because, why not? So I'm going to run into the throne room here, and here's the choices we're going to make. Stay silent, simply watching. Alright, don't kill her, she's a loyal servant of the Absolute. She's not lying, she served the Absolute faithfully. And then we get to choose the fate of these goblins. Thank you, I'm going to enjoy this, though that choice doesn't matter. Now, the third choice, fight me. If you die or you kill me, you're free to go. This gives you the most XP, so we're going to do this. And they're two-shottable. Like, they're really, really easy to kill. Like, they have almost no HP, so just beat them up and kill them. Now, go down the stairs to the prison, and we're going to pill Minthara out, which I've already killed just about everyone. So what I'm going to do first is these two adepts, because I didn't kill the enemies inside, they will go back to their posts here. And this one's going to go up the stairs. We're just going to go ahead and ambush this one, kill him now. And, oh, missed. Okay, well, we got to hit him again. There, we hit him and he's zoned, so let's go follow him. Let's go beat him up real quick. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they're just walking it off. Let's just go ahead and clear the enemies in this room now. There's not too many. And what do we have here? This is... Yeah, we're just going to clear the enemies at the top before we rescue Minthara. Or, you know, it's just easier this way. While you're up here, you might as well just kill Disciple Zrel as well and get another Tadpole. Also, you might as well kill Ketheric's dog. Now, if you didn't decide to kill almost all of Moonrise Towers, you'll want to shut this door, turn off the torches in the room, and then don't even engage dialogue with these two characters, simply just kill them. Then you're going to give Minthara an invisibility potion and then walk her out to the fast travel point. But because I've already killed everyone in the tower, I don't need to make her invisible. There's no one to stop us. So this is the easiest, most efficient way to do this. The answer choices to get her out are pretty simple. We need to get out of here. Let's go. Then just walk her to the fast travel point. That's all you gotta do. That is straight up the stairs and out the front door. Once she's past the little fire area here that, you know, blocks off the zone, all you gotta do is tell her where to find your camp, and then just talk to her in your camp with your main character. I don't know why she runs back into Moonrise Towers. I guess she forgot her purse or something. Like, that's not where our camp is, bro. After Minthara's saved, we can go ahead and release the prisoners since everything's dead outside. It's, it doesn't really do much in Act 3, but it's just a nice thing to do, you know. There we go. And the prisoners will run out, and then you'll get the quest reward. They'll turn green, there it is. All good. Afterwards, you can teleport to Last Light Inn and then talk to Wolburn. You'll see a quest marker on your map to show you where he's at, and he's right here. Should be right in here. There he is. So just go ahead and talk to him. We are so close to level 9, and there's a few places we can go. So here's where we started Act 2 at. If you go down here, there's a fight that you can do. Also, from Shadow to Battlefield, up here, there's a few fights you can do. They're pretty easy, and just go do them. You should be level 9. So to be more specific, right in this area is a big fight. Also, in this part of the map here, in the kind of northeast, there is the He Who Was. This is just a quest for gloves that summons a bird, and if you take the gloves off, you lose the summon. It really sucks. It's a huge waste of time. You could kill him for XP because he's level 6, but for role players, killing him is considered an evil action because it's a good guy. He's very justice-oriented. It's up to you. Finally, the other big fight is, this is where we started the game. This is where we killed that caravan at the very start. Then just go south from there, and then there's more of these shrub monsters. When you kill the small ones, they explode. The big ones can't root us because we have freedom of movement buffed up. Once you've killed those mobs, you should be level 9. You absolutely should be level 9 by now. You're going to head back to camp, and you're going to kick out Shadowheart and invite Gale, and we're also going to talk to Minthara and invite her. So, just get that done. Also, now's a good time to give Shadowheart that Night Orchid that we picked up way at the start. Minthara will be hanging out with Halsin, so just talk to her and then invite her to your party. And then go through the dialogue. I can help you fix it. I can help you fix it.
Starting with General Thorpe.
You'll join me in this battle. Of course, you'll be a valuable ally. Sleep well. And then you can talk to her again. There she goes. Now she leveled up. Now we can invite her to the party.
The Emperor is the reason we have made it this far.
Let's see.
And if the Gith
Oh, she's already joined. There we go. That's because she's leveling up. So now we're going to take Minthara, and we're going to respec her at Withers. So I don't know why, but my Minthara is missing a body. She's just a head and hands. That's some VR stuff right there. But anyway, we're going to make her a level 1 cleric. Let me get everything on the screen here. So we're going to change her class to cleric. Her cantrips will be Sacred Flame, Guidance, of course, we need Guidance, and Produce Flame. There we go. Her subclass will be Light Domain. And then we're going to go... Her deity cannot be changed from Loth. That is purely how she works. You can't change her deity. And then we're going to clear her stats here, and we're going to give her 16 strength. Doesn't matter if it's +2 or +1. Does not matter at all. Dex is 14. And then Constitution 12. Int is dump stat, which is 8. Wisdom 16. And Charisma dump stat 8. You can change her skill proficiencies to whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and do Medicine. Or no, I'll keep Insight. I don't need Religion. I'll do Medicine. And you can keep it's really whatever the heck you want. And there we go. That is level 1 done. Levels 2 through 5 are also all cleric. So here we go. I will again. She has no body or legs. I don't know what's going on with Minthara in my save file, but we're gonna prepare spells later. We don't need to do that right now. I'll go over that when we get there. Level 3 cleric. Alright, again, she earns Drow Magic Fairy Fire, and then you can prepare spells. Nothing special here. Level 4 Cleric. You can learn a new cantrip. I like Thaumaturgy. We don't really... Or you can do Resistance. I'll just go with Resistance. And then for the feat, you're going to choose Dual Wielder, because, yes, we are using 2 weapons, so make sure you pick Dual Wielder. And there we go. Then at level 5, nothing else. Again, her race learns Darkness. That's really cool. And there we go. The rest is going to go into Fighter now. Level 6, we are now multi-classing into Fighter. Here we go. And then the fighting style is going to be Defense. You want a +1 to armor class while wearing armor. Very simple. There's nothing to pick up at level 7. And then at level 8, we are going to become a Battle Master. As a Battle Master, you're going to choose Evasive Footwork, Riposte, and Sweeping Attack. And I know Sweeping Attack sucks for damage, but it's not about how much damage you're dealing. It's every time you hit something, they get a whole bunch of conditions applied to them. So when there's like 4 people swarming you and you Sweeping Attack them, you're just going to be glowing and blowing up everything around you. It's really nice. At level 9, your feat is going to be ability improvement. Also, make sure you're putting the levels into fighter. And you're going to go +2 to strength. And the reason why is we're going to have her strength so high she does not need an elixir at end game. And she can drink a different elixir because she is our main tank. What you're going to do now that you've leveled up Minthara to 9 is you're going to give everything that Lae'zel is wearing to Minthara, and then we're going to say goodbye to Lae'zel. She is no longer going to be in service. Now, you don't need to give her the Silver Sword of the Astral Plane. You're going to give her the Blood of Lathander and the Shining Staver of Skulls. Next, you'll use Gale to give Minthara all the buffs that we did earlier. Also remember that because Minthara's a drow, she does not need the Dark Vision Transmutation Stone. She has better Dark Vision than everyone else. Gale can't really see in the dark, but our character is an elf, so we can see a little bit further. Also, I went ahead and gave her the Spider's Lyre back that we stole from her, and I'm going to wear the battered loot that we picked up from that robot surgeon dude. Also, it's time to give her some perma buffs, so you're going to give her Auntie Ethel's hair with the +1 strength, and then you have that +2 strength potion in your inventory that you're going to hand her over to. Here's the spells that I readied for Minthara. I have Spirit Guardians. This is an AoE damage concentration. Animate Dead for another Skelly Archer. Spiritual Weapon for just an extra summon that deals damage. Prayer of Healing. Don't really need this. You can take this one off if you want. Maybe put another level 1 spell on there, like Bane or something, or maybe Shield of Faith. But don't really need this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and, put Shield of Faith. I like Shield of Faith. Also, Command, always useful. Protection from evil and good. You could probably remove this one and add something else, like Sanctuary. It's really, I don't know, it depends if you're fighting phase, and then we got Shield of Faith, of course. And then Healing Word, this is the one that you can heal a creature you can see. This is just a way to pick up someone if they are on the ground, or toss someone to heal ourselves, because when we cast a spell, we receive healing from ourselves. So you'll notice here that Minthara comes preloaded with a bunch of Tadpole powers, which is really awesome. But we're going to pump her up full of them. So here is everything that you're going to dump into this, and the reason why is the more Tadpoles you use, the better Cold Weak gets, which this character is going to trigger or proc Cold Weak more than anything. So in it goes, Cold Weak, Psionic Overload, that's this one right here in the top middle. Then you're going to go to Stage Fright, this one is amazing, there we go. Next up is Ability Drain, that one's right up here. Then Force Tunnel right down this way. Displacer, or Displace. Then we have Repulsor. And then we can learn Transfuse Health. And you would think, what about Perilous Stakes? Nah, don't need it. We're just going to go with Shield of Thralls. Way, way, way more useful. So what this means is that anytime you proc Reverberation, which deals a little bit of, radiant damage to a target, you will call the target, as in you will just execute it immediately if it is at 12 or less HP. It's so broken. For your Cleric's level 9, you're going to put the point into Sorcerer. And then for your spell that you're going to learn Fog Cloud. And for your meta magic, you're going to do twinned spells and extended spells, because your job is a buffer and a debuffer. You're not doing ranged or careful, like, who cares about that? For Astarion, your Fog Cloud Rogue, you're going to put the level into Cleric, so now you have 4 Rogue levels and 5 Cleric levels. Also, ignore the text on the screen, you don't need to learn Fog Cloud, you already have that learned. And the twinned and extended meta magic, that was for the previous slide. So at Monk level 9... or at level 9, you're going to have 1 level into Cleric and 8 levels into Monk. You're going to pick up Ability Improvement feat. And the reason why we're going +2 Strength is because you can now switch off the Clouded Giant Strength Elixir for Bloodlust Elixir, which is actually a DPS improvement. And don't worry, in Act 3, we're going to be switching her entire spec so that she can wear gloves that give you 23 Strength, meaning she can still be freed up to use a Bloodlust Elixir and not lose any damage. And now for more camp buffing, but now we have the ability to do twin casting, so we're going to use that with the Drakethroat Glaive. So on your healer, you're going to equip the Drakethroat Glaive just temporarily, and then on Minthara or whoever you want, you're going to get real close to the healer, and you're going to drop your weapons. And we can only enchant 2 weapons with the Drakethroat Glaive per day. So there's Lathander's Light on the ground, and then we're going to take the Shining Staver of Skulls, put that on the ground, and walk away. So on your healer, you're going to need at least 3 of these sorcery points. So I'm just going to sacrifice a level 1 spell slot by clicking this Create Sorcery Point. That's going to convert 1 spell slot into 1 sorcery point. So there we go. Now I have 3 sorcery points. I'm going to click this Metamagic Twin spell button. And then I'm going to click the Draconic Elemental Weapon spell that's from our glaive. And then I'll just use Thunder as the element. I'm going to select the Blood of Lathander and the Shining Staver of Skulls. And now both of them are enchanted. So Minthara will now come and pick the weapons back up off the ground, and they are now stronger than ever before for the whole day. For the rest of the day, we're going to put the Shining Staver of Skulls, Blood of Lathander in main. I like the Shining Staver of Skulls in the offhand. And you can see that it deals an additional 1d4 thunder damage, and this one also deals 1d4 thunder damage. So again, that's 2 to 8 bonus damage that we have for the rest of the day. It's just really nice. Also, I just want to note, we don't really have a level 5 spell at the moment for our cleric, so hold on, I'm hitting the wrong button here. You can see I have no level 5 spells at all. Yes, I could upcast something if I want to, or I can just use my level 5 spell slot to convert to sorcery points, right? And then we're going to create 5 sorcery points from that. And remember that amulet we got from the Warden? Well, guess what? I can put that amulet on, okay? And then I can use that amulet's ability to restore the level 5 spell slot, or recover a level 6 spell slot, which, you know, I don't technically have, but we can just go ahead and do that. And the game, it didn't give it to me, of course. But you would want to do that for a level 5 spell slot, and then you can convert that to more sorcery points. And the cool thing is you can convert sorcery points into spell slots, so you can restore your level 1, level 2, level 3, etc. spells. So you just have so much spells to work with now. And from now on, anyone that has any items that have really useful spells, like this haste bow, you're gonna want to have, so you can twin cast it on enemies, on allies, you know, just, well, you don't want to haste the enemies, but you get what I'm saying. And as far as elixirs go, yeah, we're using the giant strength at the moment just to pump up the Titan string bow for damage, but later on you're going to be using slumber potions to get your spell slots back while keeping your sorcery points, and then arcane cultivations, you know, different tiers of that, so you can just get spell slots to convert into sorcery points to convert into better spell slots. Also remember, this purple shield we bought gives you a level 1 spell slot, so you can again convert that to sorcery points. You can also yoink the Peril of Power Amulet, I said that word, Pearl of Power Amulet, and use that to restore spell slots to convert to sorcery points to restore bigger spell slots. Yay! So why is Minthara so much better than Lae'zel? Well, it's because of soul branding. This is her unique special snowflake ability, and what it does is it gives you 3 to 9 additional fire damage and movement speed. It says 1.5 meters, but it's actually more than that. So her movement speed right now is 15 meters, but when we cast it, you'll notice here that her movement speed is now 20 meters. You may be thinking, well, it lasts 3 turns, so 1.5 times 3. No, look, now it's down to 2 turns, still 20 meters. And then when this goes down to 1 turn remaining, which it is right now, still 20 meters. And then you'll see it drop off back down to 15 meters. So it's way more than the tooltip says. But the cool thing is that this is an amazing pre-buff thing. Like, I have 3 skeleton archers. You know, 3 to 9 damage adds up. That's, you know, 9 damage. Now that archer, that's 18 damage. This one is 27 damage. You know, throw it on another ranged character like Astarion here, that's 36 damage, and then you walk through the door and you blast everybody. It's just free damage, and this is a bonus action in combat, so it's broken as hell. Another power spike at 9 is, again, the twin casting. We can now channel Shield of Faith on 2 of our party members. So I've got it on Shadowheart and Minthara. So our armor class is through the roof. We got 25 AC on Shadowheart, 22 on Minthara. It's over. Like, they can't do anything. Also, you can twin cast heals, you can twin cast buffs, debuffs, you know, you can swap on that haste bow, twin cast that before you walk through the doors and fight a boss. The possibilities are just endless. Alright, time to get another Tadpole. You're going to teleport to the last light inn, and we're going to talk to Isabel. And we're going to do this a little bit smartly here. We're going to do this a little bit pre-planned, you know, kind of like seeing the future kind of, sort of. I don't recommend doing this on honor mode because it can really screw things up. Make a safety save before you do this, of course. And we're gonna split the party up a little bit here. So, including the skeletons. So, Isabel's room should be facing north here. There it is. We're going to just walk right in front of the door with our main character and Shadowheart. Shadowheart is our big bounce, not really big bouncer. I was gonna say big bouncy, but no, Shadowheart is going to be our bouncer upstairs. We're gonna position Minthara about right around there. That's fine. We're gonna put Astarion upstairs as well as a rooftop sniper. So let's get him going up there. And again, you want everyone positioned like in a spot where they can shoot downward. And then we have the Skelly Bros. We're just gonna put the Skelly Bros up top as well. And we'll reposition them once they get up there because it's easier to see the floor and click on it and stuff. Oh, there we go. Alright, looks like we need to reposition Shadowheart here. So we're going to go in. And we're going to go right about here on the door.
No time to rest.
Main character healer will be the one right here. We're going to summon our zombie as well. Let's get our skeletons in position. So skeletons, put one there. We're gonna put one there. And this other one can cover Astarion. So we've got eyes all over the place. Everyone's nice and spread out. We've got our characters. We're gonna do the safety save now.
Can't give up
and
now.
then we're going to pop out the zombie. And then we're gonna very quickly talk to Isabel while all this is going down. And Isabel gets attacked. So that's why we're doing all this security detail. Anyway, I'm gonna skip the save you. How do you figure that? Number 1. All right. Number 1.
I wish you luck.
Number 1. Here comes the trouble. Oh boy. And yep.
I've been blessed.
What are you?
So, my instructions are
Let's
clear.
see.
Take the girl to Ketherian.
Touch her and I'll kill you, says the simp. Here come the big baddie dudes to abduct children. Oh no, poor Maul. Alright, everyone's in position, so we're all set. And yeah, everyone's gonna kill the winged demons, and then our healer, the zombie, and Shadowheart should be able to pummel down Flaming Fist Marcus, who has the Tadpole. So when you kill Marcus, loot the Tadpole. Now, unfortunately, I did have one casualty. This Harper Lae'zel died. And if you're curious if you should load game or not, essentially all you have to do, and I just jumped straight on her corpse, all you have to do is simply look them up in the wiki. Lae'zel apparently will guard Moonrise Towers and attack it, and in Act 3 help you fight the final boss. So, I don't have that for me, but I don't care. It's just one crappy little NPC. I'm not too worried about that. Also, with our Tadpole, make sure to pump it into Minthara. Yeah, man. That way, now, Goal of the Week is up to 13 HP. We'll get more later, and that'll complete the whole tree, basically, until these unlock. Alright, so now let's get Halsin as a permanent party member. Even though we won't use them in our combat team, we can turn them into something that casts buffs on us later, makes feasts. So what we're going to do is, when we're here at Last Light Inn, we're going to go to the northern part of the first floor, and there's going to be this guy on the bed named Art Colag. And we're just going to talk to Art Colag here. There we go.
Flame color.
And skip dialogue. And that name he mentioned, Nathaniel. Who is that? There we go. And then we're going to pull out the loot that we found and play a little bit. So, That's gonna wake him up. There we go. And then say I killed Malice Thorn.
Do you know him?
And don't say Halsin is dead. Say what do you want from him? And then leave, and then go to camp, and then talk to Halsin, and then Halsin will come here and talk to this guy. So here's Halsin in camp, being a book nerd, so we're gonna interrupt his book reading. Probably reading something dirty. Okay, so there's a flaming fist recuperating the last light. Seems he escaped from the curse, and he spoke of a boy called Thaniel. And he's like, oh, we need to speak to this guy. I'll go see him right away, and he just vanishes. He just teleports away as the game intended. You know, druids and their teleporting magic, right? Doesn't even transform into a rat. So you don't... Oh, here he comes. Halsin's kind of slowly walking over. Just go ahead and talk to Art Cola. And he'll just appear there. There you go. Blah, blah, blah. Was there anything that could offer guidance? And there we go. So now Halsin is going to have us meet him on the side of town. And this is actually a really difficult defensive fight. I'm gonna teach you how to cheese it, but on honor mode it really sucks. But this party is more than capable of doing it. But there's a way to solo it if you want to cheese it, or cheat it rather, by just healing the portal unintentionally. So right over here on the north side of town is this big old stone. Now I really recommend that you save before doing this fight because things can go real bad. There's a lot of like scrolls you can use to like make this easier, but our party is pretty much built to wipe the floor with these two encounters. So I'm gonna make a safety save, and I'll show you the encounter, a little bit of it. Alright, so let's talk about how to cheat this encounter before I show you. To heal the portal, you have to go to Tactician mode, confirm it, and then go back to Explorer mode and confirm it, and that will heal the portal. And you just have to last like 5 turns, and then you win. But 3 of our party members have Spirit Guardians, and that we're just gonna have Spirit Guardian walls just standing around killing everything. So let's go ahead and talk to Halsin to get the whole process started, and I'll show you. It's pretty wild. There we go. You're here.
Now we can.
All right, let's do it.
Very well.
All right.
Once I begin the
What am I to
ritual,
do?
I need you to stay here.
You can count on me.
It's-
There we go. And so a ton of enemies are going to spawn in, like right now. And your job is to kill them all. And yeah, so what we're going to do is everyone casts Spirit Guardians, and we're going to cast the Radiant version. So there we go. We've casted Spirit Guardians. We're just going to now march over and walk all over all the shadows. And that's going to hurt the crap out of them. There we go. Also, because we killed one, we can now attack again. So, again, we have Bloodlust. That's why we have Bloodlust. That thing has a lot of health. This one, did I hit? Okay, it's gonna opportunity attack. We can just hit it with our shield. Why not? There we go. Didn't do anything, though. Alright. So that ends his turn. And now for our main character's turn against Spirit Guardians. And the screen's gonna get flooded with enemies. You may think, oh, well, this isn't so bad. No, it's about to get way worse. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna put this character kind of here in the front and end his turn. I could have shot. Yeah, I know. I could have shot, but it's whatever. You know, we got plenty of other things that can do some shooting. Use your skeletons to make a little wall, make a little blockade, and things get really out of hand really quickly here. But right now they're fine. And then of course Minthara, also Spirit Guardians. And we're going to put her over here, kind of in defense of this zone. There we go. And she can also soul branding herself, why not? You know, just for more damage. Doesn't really hurt. And again, this whole area is going to be just flooded with bad guys. It's so cool to see, but right now, you know, we're kind of on top of the mob clear. He's walking around the Spirit Guardians. He's like, no, 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 I'm not touching it. And he's teleporting too. Here comes some more, and you'll see this top part just fill up. I'll skip ahead. I'll just skip ahead. Well, I was going to show you I mean, you'll have to look at all these bodies, all these corpses, right? And this strategy is working a little too good because it's killing everything the second they spawn in. Halsin will then pull a boy out of a portal, and then we need to get him somewhere safe. and then he's gonna take him back to camp. We're going to go to camp and talk to him about it. We're gonna be like, hey, Halsin, you know, how do we fix this? And he's gonna be like, there's another boy out there. And we're like, oh yeah, that boy that we got that sneaky ring from way earlier in the video. And he's gonna be like, what video? What are you talking about? And alright, make sure you talk to Halsin back in camp so you can progress this part of the story.
Nathaniel, what stayed
And
behind
then,
would
how
have
can
been
I
it,
help?
only the missing half may not
Once
come with
Nathaniel's essence is found, what
perhaps it can
then?
be reasoned with.
I met a sort of shadow child before, a little boy named Oliver, around Nathaniel's age.
And I truly mean.
Alright,
we,
leave
if
it
you
to
would-
me.
If you want me, I'm yours.
Stay here
I'll
for
do it.
now. And now we just go back to Oliver, and we know where he's at. He's over here at the Shadow of the Battlefield. So we take that waypoint. And then we just go up the little wooden tree trunks here. And this fight is the exact same thing. He summons a bunch of ads and you kill him and it breaks his shield and then you win the fight. So we're going to talk to Oliver now. And Oliver's a little dickhead, so we're going to do a safety save.
Not back to. I still think you might.
I know who you really are, where you really belong.
I'm not going back.
Like or not, you don't belong here. And then he opens a portal, of course. So we go through the portal, and it just teleports us, you know, at a different spot of the map. It's not like its own unique area. So this is the fight. He's gonna summon a bunch of ads, and we just beat him up. It's really simple. Also, on higher difficulties, don't attack the Night Dome shield because it'll hurt you twice as hard as you hit it. It has 300 HP, so unless you have 600 HP somehow, you know, there's no reason to attack it. When you kill the ads that he summons, it breaks the shield, and that's how you win the fight. It's real simple. It's really brainless, okay? Brain dead. Once you break his shield, the fight is basically over. He starts whinging and complaining, and then you can be mean or nice to him. It doesn't really matter. Just lend Daniel your strength. Nobody's to blame here. Of course he will. You're bound to each other. And there you go. It's all good. When you get back to camp, the kid will be reformed. He'll tell you what happened. And, yep, everything's good. Now you have Halsin as a permanent party member that you can add anytime. And then you can confirm this by talking to Halsin in your camp.
Nathaniel rests well.
And then you can be like, I need you by my side out there. And it's the same as any other party member. So, there you go. The next thing we need to do is free the Night Song so that we can kill Ketheric Thorn. And also get Jaheira. So, we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to teleport to the Grand Mausoleum. And we're going to go back into the Gauntlet of Shar by going into... again, we've already done this earlier. We're going to go north into the far back of this building here. I'll show you. Inside the mausoleum, we did this portrait puzzle. You're going to, once again, click this gem and go down. Now, there's a few ways to proceed from this main room here. You can hop, skippity, jump over the mushrooms like we did earlier to end up in this room again to do that encounter. Or you can just simply go north and do this encounter. Both encounters have a similar mechanic where they summon these purple umbral tremors. If you don't kill them, they will summon more and more ads until you do. And just kill the purple things and then kill the ads. After the fight, we do need to return to that west room that we were once in earlier. Right over here to find the relic, talk to Balthazar, all that kind of fun stuff. So we're just going to walk our way west. And yes, there are more rats. You can ignore them. You can mess with them if you want, but we're just gonna go west, and it's another encounter just like we had. Kill the purple things that spawn enemies. By the way, on higher difficulties, using radiant damage on these Justice CR dudes, not the best idea. So for Shadowheart, you're going to go to passives and change it from radiant to psychic. That'll be just fine. But anyway, once you finish the encounter, head west through the doors and then talk to Balthazar. Now, we just want to kill him here and now because it makes it way easier than dealing with him later. But if you want, you can do all the dialogue persuasion checks for some XP and then turn on him, and that's totally fine. Or just straight up attack him, whatever you want to do. After the fight, he does drop a helmet that has the ability to summon undead or animate dead. Unfortunately, if you take this helmet off, it unsummons whatever you used. So it's kind of pointless, and unless you're playing a strict summoner build, there's really no point. Now it's time to go all the way east and fight Ugear, or you can try to talk him into, you know, just not fighting, but it's really hard. It's like 3, if I remember correctly, it's like 3 persuasion checks, difficulty 21. So we're just going to go all the way east as far as the game allows us. There's a fast travel waypoint right here. I'll show you on the map. Just go ahead and grab that right quick. There we go. Looks like I already got it. And north is the Gauntlets of Shar. We'll do that later. We want to go east, though. And if you're looking east, there should be a Displacer Beast that you can follow. It's basically just a trap, but you can follow the Displacer Beast and start the U-Gear encounter. If you don't feel like saving and loading, this is what I would recommend for Honor Mode. As soon as you see the Displacer Beast, attack it, which starts combat with U-Gear and all of his minions. They're going to be forced to, like, normally what happens is you get lured right here at the bottom, and they just blast you from the top. It really sucks. But if you shoot the Displacer Beast as soon as you see it, they will be forced to reposition and come over here, and you can fight them on your own accord if you want. Now, if you're playing on any difficulty but Honor Mode, the fastest way is to just convince U-Gear to off himself. However, if you're on Honor Mode, this is how you should do it. When you get to this part and the Displacer Beast runs down the stairs, this is where we're at on the map. Take your main character, separate your minions, separate everybody, put them into stealth, and you can leap across this little gap here. And because we can see invisibility with our main character, because he has Urzat's Eye, we can just put a bunch of explodey barrels around these guys and then kill them before they ever get a turn. That's the easiest, most efficient way to deal with this fight in Honor Mode. Just cheese it with barrels. Or you can ambush them and fight them normally, it's up to you. For everyone else that wants to go the convincing route, make sure that you send your party to camp, because they will disapprove of all the things you're going to tell this demon, and you don't need them around. You can summon them back from camp, you know, in just a few seconds. It's not a big deal. But you definitely don't want to lose approval with Astarion and Minthara, because you just got Minthara for one, and I mean Shadowheart's approval is high, Astarion's is not, so make sure that they are all at camp so they won't get pissed off when you talk to U-Gear. And then I'm just gonna unstealth, and then that started the fight. So you have to actually come down here and talk to him normally. You can't just walk up behind him and tap him on the shoulder. Here's the answer choices for talking your way through it. We're going to skip. Put that thing down. I'm here to talk. You know Raphael? I've had dealings with that devil. Maybe we can help each other. Let's share our experiences about Raphael. Then you're going to pick, show me this contract. He'll sing you a little song. And then you want to say your contract is a song? Then persuasion. The lyrics are a trick. Your followers, get rid of them. And I don't have anyone with me to buff, so I'm just going to do friends, because I put them back at camp so they don't get disapproval. And there we go, easy pass. Alright, so now the Marigons will just kill each other. So, you're not finished yet, the Displacer can hear you, right? And this one's kind of sad. This one, he's got to put down his pet cat. Sad day. And he's, Nessa, oh, stay still. And he old yellers her. And then exactly, you know, remove, complete the contract, and you'll be reborn in Avernus free. Now, if you fail this one, you can just summon everyone back from camp and kill them. It's not that hard. But, you know, here we go. And we got a nat crit 20. This video has so many nat 20s. Anyway, so he pulls out a sword, and then he guts his stomach, and then there you go. They're all dead. Now, on Honor Mode, don't count on that happening. But, yeah, there you go. Easy peasy. Now, look, there's a whole bunch of other ways to solve this room. I'm not going to go over them because they're very inefficient on time. You have to play detective and, like, snoop out these rats and go all over the damn temple killing rats. It sucks. It's a real pain in the ass, and it's a huge time sink, so I don't give a shit. I'm not going to teach you how to do it. Also, now, I can't confirm this because I don't know why Redditors think this is superior, but for Astarion, who is your range DPS, he currently has, well, he has Gloves of Thievery on. He really should have the Gloves of Archery on for that +2 damage. But for whatever reason, and I don't know why, everyone on the internet thinks that the Dark Justiciar gloves over here are superior. And these things, they do an average of 2 damage, you know, 1 to 4, necrotic, and strength saving throw, whatever. So if you want, pick these up, give them to your Astarion. I don't know the math of why they think this is better, maybe because of crits or something, I have no idea. And yes, before someone leaves a comment, some know-it-all about YouTube, you know, who has like 2 subscribers that know up videos, are like, bro, you know, as a YouTuber, you're supposed to act like an absolute authority so that people subscribe and watch your videos. And no, I don't believe that. I make videos for myself. I make videos that are honestly, truthfully, brutally honest. And honestly, I don't know what the math is as to why Reddit thinks that the Dark Justiciar gloves are better. I have no clue. And so I'm going to admit that to you. I don't know why they think they're better. I don't think they're better, but hey, pick them up just in case, if they are, whatever. Anyway, before you go, you gotta pick up this Umbral gem on the ground. Just hold your alt key, it's in orange, so just pick that up. It's near the Orthan's bed thingy, where the cat dies, so there you go. From here, it's much quicker, reunite with your party, of course, and then teleport to the Gauntlet of Shar fast travel point, and then we're going to head north, down the stairs, and I'm just ignoring the rats. I don't care. The rats are the whole way to solve your gear problem, but screw it. So now, facing west is the first door or the first trial. Now, for the trials, we're going to be using Shadowheart solo, so we're going to separate her from the party, and then we're going to go into this westernmost door here. And unfortunately, yes, you can go through this trial without activating it, but you won't be able to get the loot at the end. So you have to click on this sacrificial bowl, make a little sacrifice here, offer your blood in Shar's name, there we go. Go through this middle door. Now, every guide ever is going to tell you to drink an Invis Potion and hit some buttons. That's stupid. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just kill the shadows, because the shadows give XP. They give 110 XP, and why would we not want to, you know, do that? So, I'm just gonna run up and murder some shadows, and yeah, you'll have to stealth up to them, but remember, Shadowheart has the boots of speed. She can click her heels. She is very, very fast. Has a lot of movement, so just enter turn-based mode and punch out the shadows. Boom, kill them, easy, dead. Alright, if you're on auto mode, you might not be able to one-shot these guys, but you should. You honestly should. We're going to make our way to this little gate right here, so you can just click there, but again, there are shadows that you will need to kill, but hey, turn-based mode, you know, that's what turn-based mode is. We're just going to walk up to the shadow and kick his butt. And here we go. And it took me out of turn-based mode to teleport me back. So, obviously we're going to have to do it whenever the Shadow's sight cone is not in front of us. But there it goes. And, you know, I can just click heals outside of combat, you know, start running up here. And don't worry about the grease. We have freedom of movement. And again, I'm just going to click right behind here. And it heard the click, I guess. But anyway, you can figure it out. You want to kill the Shadow for XP. Now, of course, if you break this wall here, there is a key inside, which is the solution, but, I mean, we're Shadowheart. We're basically Superman, okay? We don't need no keys. We do not need to hit a button on a wall to open any of the doors. We can simply walk up to the Iron Gate and then punch it. We're that strong, yes. That's right, we can just crumble these gates, no problem. We're going to continue west here, and then we're just going to, again, punch through the gate. Boom! And it doesn't stand a chance. Grab the orb, it's going to teleport us to the entrance, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the next trial here, which, continuing north, there will be another door here, and the door is right here. That's trial number 2. Here's the real lame way to beat this trial. Go to your inventory, take everything off. That's right. Well, leave your regular clothes on, okay? But you're going to take off all your weapons, you know. I mean, I guess your weapon is your fist, but there you go. Ooh la la, right? So go to the sacrificial bowl, bleed some more into it. There we go. And then slap that gear back on. Alright. Just as intended. So now, when you enter the room here, and by the way, you're fighting your clone in this trial. Your clone will be right up here up top. You can let them get advantage and spook you. It doesn't matter. They have no gear, so you can just pummel them. They won't be able to hurt you. You're literally a tank. So just kill them. Your dead clone will drop the Umbral Gem, so yoink that. Then grab that Umbral Transporter, and it's off to the final trial. Very easy, very simple. Go ahead and leave and continue north down the path here. And, yeah, we got one more trial to go. It's the Leap of Faith trial. Once you've walked down the winding staircase and there's some rats observing some upside-down booba statue, there will be a wooden door here. You go through it, and this is the Faith Leap trial. Now, the easiest way to beat this trial is to simply scroll your camera forward and then left-click this little corner, and the AI will do everything for you. But let's say that gets patched. You don't need a potion of flying. You don't need some intricate guide. The solution is right here on the floor. Check this out. Look. This is the solution. This is the room. You start here on the right, you walk this way, you go down the middle, and you can walk this way, and then you get to the end of you get to the end of the room, and then there it is. It's that simple. Now, one thing you must remember is to go to the altar and make your sacrifice, because don't forget that, otherwise there won't be an orb to loot. But anyway, we made the sacrifice, and now all you gotta do is just left click that corner right there. Just left click that corner. Shadowheart knows what to do. She's not a stupid girl, maybe, I don't know. And she will just properly walk the path. There you go. It's done. It's over. You did it. Then, don't walk into the purple death cloud. Okay? Just left-click the umbral gem, you'll yoink it with your force powers, and then that's, then you just left-click this, you teleport back, now you're not dead. This is the easiest way to beat this trial. From here, gather your party because we're gonna go into a library and bust up some skellies. Now, west from the, what is this called again? The Faith Leap trial. We're going to go just a little bit west, just a few steps, and then west is the Silent Library. Now, there's gonna be a big purple orb in the middle that silences the whole area. The reason we're gonna kill the purple orb is not so we can cast spells, but because if you don't, it will resurrect these Justiciar, whatever, these book nerds, okay? These undead nerds in a library. So kill the purple thing, kill the skellies. Once you've cleared the bad guys, from the entrance, as soon as you pan the camera inside, turn it towards the north. Then on the second bookshelf, you're going to loot a book that's called the Night Song. Now, it is trapped, but it's just a little acid splash, nothing too bad. And it's called Teachings of Lost the Night Song, so grab that book. Then, while you're still on the north wall, you're going to walk towards this button here, all the way to the west that's near this gate, and then you're going to push this button. We're going to push that button, there we go, and then we're going to walk in, and there's really nothing of merit. I mean, you can check the bookshelves, there might be some spell scrolls and stuff, but nothing too crazy. You're going to click on this middle pedestal thingamajig, and then put that book in there, and then insert it. There you go. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, you have to do this if you want to keep Shadowheart. I have not found a way to keep Shadowheart in the party if you skip this step. So, we're going to walk in here, and there's the Spear of Night, and you're going to take Shadowheart, and she's going to loot the Spear of Night. She doesn't have to equip it, she just needs to be holding on to it. You also have the Dark Justiciar half plate, which is, it's okay armor. I don't really plan to use it for anything, but, you know, it's kind of heavy, so we're going to send that to camp. And then in the chest is the helmet, which is a decent helmet. It's not a bad helmet. We might actually use this later on in Act 3, but for now we're going to send it to camp. So there we go. Now we can teleport out of here and go back to the Gauntlet of Shar. And from the Gauntlet of Shar fast travel, we're going to go east. We're going to pan the camera, go east up the stairs, and east up the stairs again, and then we're going to go north to this little ancient altar thing, and you should have 4 umbral orb thingies. My main character has one, the umbral gem, and then we know that Shadowheart has 3 of them. Also, I'm going to make a safety save, because things can get really hairy with Shadowheart here. And we're going to insert the Umbral Shard. Yeah, man. Insert it. There we go. It's inserted. 90 XP. Very cool.
Wait.
And then she's going to get a little prayer. And you can be like, you know, just say whatever. Anyway, then you're going to hop on the lift. There we go. Make sure everyone's on it. All aboard, everybody, and then click the rightmost or the easternmost gem. Also, while you're traversing, you can open your inventory and everyone sinks into the bottom. It's kind of funny. Whee! Look at them go. Look how glitchy it is. Oh, there they go. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little bug. Once you're at the bottom, there is another ancient altar, and this time you're going to insert the 3 umbral gems. So we're going to select Shadowheart, open the ancient thingy, open our inventory. We're going to grab all 3 at once, chunk them in there, insert them, and then that opens the door. More XP, yay! Now, there's a fast travel point in here, but this is kind of a point of no return. If you want to do anything in Act 1, you can't go back to Act 1 after you go into this Shadowfell entrance. But there is an ancient sigil circle here, the fast travel. make a safety save, of course, and if you have anything else to do in Act 1 at all for any reason, which you shouldn't, but if you do, go do it now, because you can't go back after this. And in here, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision to kill someone, and if you do, it's a bad ending. It really messes up Act 3 if you do, so you shouldn't kill that person down here. But that's up to Shadowheart and you got to work it out. I mean, this thing at the top of your screen that says, we gotta free the Night Song, clearly doesn't say we gotta kill the Night Song, but it's up to you, bro. Once you're inside the Shadowfell, everyone's got a feather fall, so feel free to hop, skip, and jump all the way down. Don't be afraid of that fall damage, you won't get any. Whee! Also, you can't kill these, they'll just disappear when you hit them, it's kind of a bummer. I wanted to farm them for XP and try to get them to drop some loot, but sadly, that is not the case. Anyway, we're just do a little bit of Super Mario jump time here. Woohoo! And you're gonna jump all the way down to the middle down here where this big circle is. This part of the video is going to be a little out of order, so the context won't really make sense for the next clip, but we need about 700 experience points in order to hit level 10 before we fight Merkel, the big boss fight of Act 2. And here's how we're going to do it. Well, you remember earlier in the video when I told you not to mess with the ritual dagger? We're going to teleport to Moonrise Towers, and then we're going to go north from the fast travel into this tower, and we're going to yoink that ritual dagger, and lore-wise, Shadowheart is no longer part of Shar, and so it's totally okay. So go in here, and that's going to be 240 XP. So yeah, you remember this room, right? I'm going to have to show you because someone in the comments will be confused. And you go in here, and you simply just loot this ritual dagger. Just pick it up, and then you're going to fight 3 guardians. And yeah, they're pretty tough on honor mode, but hey, we're level, like, 9 at this point. We could take these dudes easy. Just kick their butts. Next up, we're going to kill some shadows. We're going to teleport to Wraithwind Town, and we're going to go to the Masons Guild. There's really nothing here to loot, and I wasn't going to include it in the guide, but if we don't clear out the Masons Guild, then we're short about 600 XP to hit level 10, and that's no fun because we want to fight Merkel with everything we got. So we're going to just kind of walk right in front of the Masons Guild here. You can see that there's some stone statues. I've already opened the door. Just walk inside the door here. And we're going to go inside, and then we're going to walk through the statues into the main room, into this kind of blue-looking room here. Really big room. I'm going to turn to the west and go into this corner here. There is a ornate wooden hatch. We're going to go down that. There we go. Just go ahead and go down the hatch. Then we're going to walk up the stairs. And you want to bring your whole party because you need to pass a perception check. Walking along towards the western wall. This wall is a little bit brighter than the other parts. And there is a keyhole thing here. There we go. We figured it out. So get Astarion, pick that lock. Here we go. Let's crack it open. Yes, sir. You know, roll the dice, easy to open. Now here's what you want to do. You're going to go through here.
Subtle steps.
And there's not much going on right now. Now there's a chest. Don't touch that chest. It's trapped. So just continue walking along. If you do decide to touch the chest, these gates will rise up and lock you in. Then there's some fire statues that will shoot you. Just use Shadowheart to punch through the metal gate and you can free yourself very easily. There's nothing in that chest worth it. When you come in here, this room is lined with the shadows. Just walk down in the middle and let's let Minthara, she's the main tank, let her, you know, get in there so everyone's beating on her. That's what we want. And there's just tons of shadows and you're going to kill them all and that's going to set our XP really nicely. Once the fight is over, right-click this Mason's log and read it. That's another 95 XP. Now, again, I had to add these clips in after I filmed the next, like, 10 clips, so the context is going to be a little bit off. The video is going to continue as if you had just freed the Night Song. That's where we're picking up. Oh, man, okay, more editing mistakes. Okay, one more tip. Before you talk to Jaheira at Moonrise Towers, which the next clip is going to tell you to do, go to Moonrise Towers, go into the prison area, and there's going to be a ton of undead mobs that will be there for the event, which you can then kill. There's a lot of them, and it's a lot of XP, so clean them out, and I didn't bring Astarion because, again, that's what my video tells you to do. Anyway, you know, back to the regular scheduled programming. Wow, what a riveting, crazy cutscene. Hopefully your Shadowheart spared the night song. Also that loud shriek in the game. Man, oh man. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is as soon as you're here and you're done patting Shadowheart on her little tippy top of her head and giving her a smooch. No smooching right now, but what you're going to do is you're going to tell Astarion to go chill in the camp.
I suppose for the Lady of Love.
I need you to stay in camp for a while. Stay in the camp. There you go. So we kicked out Astarion. He's just gonna walk into the night, you know, as vampires tend to do. Spoilers, he's a vampire. I think you already figured that out by now. Anyway, what we're gonna do with our 3-man party here is we're going to then go to camp. And here's the thing. If you're playing on honor mode,
Breathe deep.
this is going to be a little harder to do, but you're going to put Will in the party. You have to have Will in your party to get a very powerful sword that lets us summon. Anyway, we're going to tell him to join us. Now, if you really want the laziest way to have Will in your party in honor mode is just respec him into a fighter. Give him the silver sword of the astral plane, even though he's not a Githyanki, it's still good. And he's all set. A level 9 fighter is really brain dead easy to play even on honor mode. So, but because I'm on an easier difficulty, he's not even going to see combat. Our Minthara and our Shadowheart can solo, or duo rather, the rest of Act 2. No problem. So anyway, once we've got Will in the party, we're going to then travel to Moonrise Towers. We don't need to go to Last Light Inn. You can go to Last Light Inn if you want to see Isabel and get a little cutscene, but it doesn't do anything. So, this part's a little buggy because of how we pre-did this whole fight, right? There's supposed to be a big epic siege here and a big fight. When you normally play the game, there are tons of corpses on this bridge to loot. Well, it's just vendor junk anyway, and we're already rich. So we don't need to do that. But because we already cleared Moonrise Towers, we can just go straight to the boss. No problem. And there's a few things that we're going to do as we walk there. And that is, we're going to get Jaheira as a permanent party member. And it's a little tough to do. It's a little buggy. So if you're on honor mode and it bugs out, well, that sucks. Make a backup save. Go, like, right now, quit. If you're on honor mode, quit the game out. Save, quit. Go to your save file directory and make a backup, because this can bug out. So, anyway, for everyone else, though, you're going to talk to Jaheira, and it's a little buggy. Again, this whole part's buggy. I can't even skip the dialogue. So, I detect a hint of envy. Then you're going to say, then consider yourself persuaded. And she's going to temporarily join your party as a sidekick. From here, we're going to just go up and fight Ketheric, and then the part that bugs out is afterwards, she might not go into proper positioning to be able to recruit her. And we'll get there at time, but you're going to walk up the staircase, and then you're going to walk north into this room with the carpet here, the little red and white carpet. Then you're going to turn west onto the stone floor, and then if you turn south, this is the boss fight door. The game will autosave as soon as you step up onto these stairs, so that's cool. And what you're going to do here is you're going to select Minthara, and you're going to soul branding Minthara, and you're going to soul branding your Shadowheart. There we go. Then you're going to enter turn-based mode, and you're going to dash with both Minthara and Shadowheart. And by doing that, when you enter the doorway, you will be able to start this fight already dashing. Now, I just want to talk about this little cutscene real quick. There's a bunch of persuasion checks you can pass, and it's a very minor buff to the fight later on. It just allows you to start the fight with a freed night song, rather than having to walk up to her and then free her. It's really hard to pass, and you can do it if you want, but for the sake of everyone else watching this video, I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to pick any of these options. The options do not matter. Alright, so this boss fight is pretty damn easy. I'm just going to pass on everyone that's not really going to be fighting. Minthara is going to run up and beat the crap out of Ketheric Thorn, and then so is Shadowheart. That's the whole fight. So once you beat Ketheric down a bit, you don't have to fully kill him. Cutscene plays, stuff happens. Now, this is the part where you have to make sure Jaheira does not bug out. So Jaheira must navigate to stand next to the big hole here. And sometimes Jaheira simply will not do that. She'll stand around and you can't interact with her at all. It sucks. It's not fun. but I'm going to show you now, because I can mouse over her and there's a speech bubble, she is not bugged, so we're good. The next step is, we're going to kick Shadowheart, not Minthara, we're going to kick Shadowheart out of the party just a little bit. So we're going to talk to Shadowheart, she's going to do some dialogue, talk to her again, and then I need you to stay at camp. There she goes. Now we have 3 out of 4. We're going to talk to Jaheira, and we're going to tell her, don't you want to see how this ends? And then we're going to tell her, join me then. Now, she is technically bugged right now. She is bugged. When you talk to her, she'll say this line, and that's it. She won't give you the option to leave to go stay at camp. She won't give you the option to talk to her about anything else. So, if you want to keep her in your party, that's fine. If you want to remove her from the party as of patch 6 in February 2024, all you have to do now is go talk to Shadowheart or whoever you want and put join me, and then say swap out with Jaheira. Now, if you want Jaheira back in the party, it's bugged right now. It'll fix itself in Act 3, but right now Jaheira is bugged. You cannot invite her back to your party, though she is part of your team. In order to get her in your party, you have to dismiss one of your party members, then pick a party member that is not your main character, because if you do this with your main character, you lose rep. So pick another character in your party and then kill Jaheira, and then have Withers revive Jaheira, and that will put her back in your party. So that's how the Jaheira crap works. And at Act 3, it's all normal, it's all good, it's all Gucci. But that's how you get her in your party earlier than intended, I guess. So, with Will in your party, we're going to get a summon sword. And unfortunately, the problem with this summoning sword is that while it's a good summon, if you remove the sword, it unsummons the character. But it's such a good summon, it's worth your weapon slot to have. And I'll show you why. So once you're down here in the gooey membrane area, you're going to pop that cherry. And you're going to then separate the group, and then you're going to pair Will up with your main character. Not with Minthara. No, she's a baddie. Alright, we got Will and the main character. You have to bring your main character or this does not work. So, we're going to tread carefully. We're going to go east down the road here. And we'll kill these brain cats later. Don't you worry. We're going to continue east, left along on the fork. And then on this fork, we're going to go left again, so we're traveling north. We're going to open the gooey teeth door here. Yummy, look at those nice flaps. And we're going to continue north into this tadpoling center. There we are, Centre with an E. They spelled, I know that's how it's spelled, but they spelled it wrong. We're going to go slurp this brine pool, you know, and go bobbing for a tadpole. There we go, we got a +1 tadpole. Then make a safety save here. And we're going to talk to this Mind Flayer pod, and surprise, surprise, it's Mazora. Yep, she's the one trapped in the pod. Now you have a choice, the left or the right. Now, if you examine the left, it'll kill her, right? Or you can examine it, but don't push it, okay? But if you examine the right, it's to open the pod. If you failed the skill check, you can still open the pod. So examine the device on the right, and we deciphered it. Cool. So we connect our mind to unleash the device and activate it. That's going to pop her out. This is the important part. Click the persuasion one. You'd think we'd get a reward for going through all this trouble. And this is how you get the summoning sword. So there we go. And she gives it to us as a reward. And this lets you summon a really badass Cambion. So again, this is just a nice little swap to have on your healer, which is kind of a summoner, kind of a necromancer later in Act 3. But, you know, instead of melee fighting or just have, like, if you blown the buff on this, and you don't need the defensive defender buff, you don't need any of your other weapon buffs like +19 strength, then you slap this bad boy on, and even though you're not proficient with it, you can still summon the Cambion with it. And the Cambion is super powerful. It's really nice. Also, this is out of context for a guide for Baldurs Gate, but if they ever made a TV show, a movie, or an anime, or whatever the heck, then canonically, this would be the party that does this in Act 2. It would be Will, it would be Minthara, and it would be Shadowheart. That's the canonical party for this little area. Anyway, we're going to now run back to the start and reunite with our party, but there's a whole bunch of people in here, and you could free them or you can kill them. Now, if you want to release them, it's going to aggro the whole zone, so don't do it. We'll come back later and release them. If you want to kill them, it's just like 1,000 XP. Now it's time to get us, which is that brain cat from the start of the game. So what I've done is I've reunited my party, but I'm leaving Will at the entrance. He's just going to stare at the wall because he's in timeout. And we're going to, again, venture east, as we did just a bit ago. But this time we're going to go south. We're going to go to the right fork. And we're going to open the flesh rot door. Look at all this flesh rot doors. Continuing south. If we continue along southwest, there is us in a cage. Oh boy. Now we're going to click the cage doors. There we go. And he's going to say, chop. Like, no, no touch. Bad. And then we're going to use persuasion. We're going to be like, nah, touch good. Touch good. Friends. Guidance. Hit him with all the things. There we go. Easy pass. Easy. You seeing wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, now we're going to open the cage door. He gave us the key. We are free. Anyway. Now we have us as a summon, so in your bar you have Conjure Us. Oh, you have your own little brain cat. There we go. Look at him. He's actually very powerful now. He's got a lot of health. He's got some pretty cool abilities. And yeah, definitely something that you want to have. And if he dies, you can just pop him back out. And let's see. He is once per short rest, so there you go. And he will last all day. He's not on a timer. You can even talk to him. He's a little companion. Look, we are here for you. And you can be like, you may draw the wrong sort of attention. Now, this is why they call it brain cats. I always wondered why they call it brain cats.
We will not cause you any trouble, friend. We will project a different form that will cloak us from all but your closest acquaintances.
I feel like the voice actor had a lot of fun with this.
Your friends shall see us as we truly are. All others shall see a kitty, a small predator. They kitties can walk anywhere, and they are most cunning.
They are most cunning. Kitties! Anyway, there you go. We got us. And don't forget to give Minthara that final illithid brain worm. There we go. That completes. Her brain is fully wormed up, boyos, until we can unlock the outer layer. She is good to go. Alright, so we're going to eventually murder hobo every single thing that we can down here before we fight the final boss of Act 2. But first, we're going to get a little safety area, especially for our honor mode players. And if we return to the part where we just started here, we're going to travel east, and then at the fork we're going to go left. And then at the second fork, we're going to go east, continuing east, just straight ahead here. There's this flesh rot door. And yes, there's a path to the left and a path to the right. Don't worry about that right now. We're just going to continue east. And we're going to go down here. Don't go down this elevator. This is to the boss. You can't come back. You will screw over your save if you do that. Instead, we're going to go to this southeast corner here and use the restoration pod. Now, this is like getting a free long rest infinitely. So, yeah, it's really, really nice. And you can go hog wild, use all of your spells, use all of your powers, make sure that you summon everything you can on every character. Just go balls to the wall crazy here and start slashing and killing and murderizing all of the intellect devourers. And, yeah, just kill everything. If you think the undead room with all the zombies is like a lot of enemies or something, you have to remember, you can spam your abilities down here. You have Sunbeam from Blood of Lathander. Minthara is fully geared to counter this entire room completely by herself. Just walk through the enemies and watch them explode and die. It's that easy. And if anything survives after the first turn, you have Channeled Divinity, Radiance of the Dawn. And that's just gonna just explode everything around you. Then walk into them. It's too easy. There's a permanent buff down here, and it is in the southeasternmost corner. You're going to have to, well, once you clear all the zombies, you're going to jump over this little gap, and we're going to be doing a little brain puzzle. So you touch the console, and then you begin to manipulate the mind, and essentially what you have to do is you gotta match the shapes over here by connecting the dots to the shapes over here. And if you mouse over it, you'll see that this is a motion. And then if you mouse over this, this is a motion. So you just have to connect the dots, and it's pretty simple. I'll show you the solution. Well, I also want to teach you how to solve a puzzle like this in a video game for the future. The simplest way is, let's activate a motion on both sides. So we're going to click this. Now the only dot that we can connect to is this one. So we'll go ahead and connect that dot. There we go. So now those are connected. Now, if we connect emotion over here, this is the only dot that it can connect to. So there we go. So when we do this one and we do this one, well, what is the quickest way to go from this dot to this dot? But when we click on this dot, what is the quickest way to go from this dot to this dot? Well, it's these two on the outer edge. So we're going to connect here, and then connect there, and there you go. So that one's done. And of course, you know, you have to connect all of them to the middle here to connect to this wall to open the door. And yeah, we'll just continue along. It's that simple. And this is what it looks like. It looks complicated, but it's super simple. You start with the yellow one here, and sorry for colorblind people, but you just go kind of down middle, and then right here you're going to go yellow on east side, following along the outer rim here, connecting. Then for the blue one, you just go straight like south, then you go west, and then you it's 4 connections. Then for purple, you go to the west, and then up top, and then up top, and then you connect that one. And then for the blue one or the green one, you go to the right. Like there's no messing this up. It's too easy, man. Anyway, once you pop the puzzle open, you need to loot the Waking Mind here. This is the only one that's worth picking up. The other things aren't really worth it. They don't give you the perm buff. Now that you have the Waking Mind, we're going to go ahead and give it to our healer, because we're going to apply the perm buff to our healer. So I'm going to take the healer character, and this is where I'm at on the map right here. And I'm going to jump across this gap southwest. So this is what it looks like. This is where I'm at on the map right here, just straight south on the whole map. And we're going to click this Mind Archive interface. Well, I'm gonna actually safety save first. And there's actually 2 perma buffs here. This one is the Resonance Stone, the most broken item in the game. It's really gonna make things easy. I'm gonna talk about that in a bit. But for now, let's get the Brain Puzzle perma buff. So, Mind Archive interface. We're going to interface with the Waking Mind. And for story purposes, you can use all the other minds too, but they don't give anything. So we're going to interface with that and insert it. Now if we talk to this slack-skinned head here, blah, 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 blah. And what aid are you offering? Number 3. And then say, I'll do it.
Touch my mind.
Alright, then Illithid, reach out and erase her mind. And there you go. Now we have Gizarathi Mind Barrier. And what that does is it gives you advantage on intelligence saving throws, and because our character has well 17 int, he's the best one for it. Just a note, if your character full dies, you lose this buff forever, so don't die. And now for the second kind of aura perma buff thing, this is the Resonance Stone, and you're going to have Shadowheart loot this one. This goes in her inventory, and it is so good. Let me talk about what this is and what it does. So this gives you vulnerability to everything around you, including yourself, to psychic damage. Alright, so this changes the entire game. You're going to switch your passive on your Monk Punch to Psychic, and you're going to leave it there the rest of the game. You're going to be punching for twice as hard now. Like, okay, so it's a 6 to 9. No, you're going to be hitting for like 20 plus. And once you get more wisdom later on in the game, you're just going to one-shot almost everything. It's so stupid. It goes through resistance. It makes them vulnerable. It's so crazy powerful. Now, it does have a downside, okay? So, you have advantage on physical checks. That means dodging and blocking and a whole bunch of stuff, right? But disadvantage on mental saving throws. Well, guess what? As Shadowheart, you're going to have insanely high wisdom. As Minthara, very high wisdom. Your healer, high wisdom. And Astarion, well, he won't have high wisdom. He'll have some wisdom, but he's going to be not standing next to Shadowheart, so it's totally fine. This thing is just ridiculous. It just makes the game, like, piss easy. This is the most broken thing in the game. And it sometimes bugs and will not work in Act 3, but sometimes it will. I don't know what causes this or if or when it will be fixed. I actually haven't played Act 3 in about 4 months, so it could be fixed for all I know. Now, I want to mention it does not work against robots, and it does not work against the undead, which, well, that sucks, and the next few fights are undeads, but hey, this thing, it breaks the game. And like just using us, psychic damage, enjoy having double psychic damage forever. And then Minthara is just fully loaded. Look, concentrated blast, double that's 72 damage, it's nuts. Oh, I also forgot to point out that when you do this brain puzzle, there's a skeleton here and a sword and a pile of skulls. And there's some okay items you can loot. I have yet to figure out a build for either that helmet or the gloves. And the sword's okay, it has psychic damage, but it's nothing special. And I'm sorry for not showing the items, but they just suck, but it's just free loot. And I don't know, man. Like, I really want to make a build with the brain drain gloves. I just haven't figured one out yet. Time for level 10, that's right. So, for your healer, you're going to put your level into Sorcerer. For the spell, you're going to learn Reduce and Enlarge. Where's it at? It's this one right there. And then for your meta magic, you're going to learn Quickened Spell. So, you can now do it as a bonus action. Really, really cool. For your Radiant Tank, you're going to put your level into Fighter. So now you have 5 Cleric, 5 Fire, and she gets extra attack this level. Oh, it's so good. Right before the boss fight. For your Monk tank, you can go with another level of Monk. So 1 Cleric, 9 Monk. You get an AoE detonation attack where you can use an action or a bonus action to punch targets and then spend key points to detonate that for a 5-meter explosion, which will chain with all your other passives. Or, if you want, you could go into Fighter level 1 for defense fighting style, but when we hit level 12, we're going to be 3 Thief and the rest Monk. So it's going to be 9 Monk, 3 Thief, and no Cleric whatsoever. Now, since we have the Restoration Pod, we can do some really wacky pre-buffing before the boss fight. So, since I have Will as a berry maker, he's a druid, so he has druid summons. Especially at level 10, he's got Dryad, he's got Major Elemental, Minor Elemental. The Dryad can summon a Wood Woad. So, you know, pop those out if your Will is a berry maker. If he is a fighter, then, you know, everything's fine. Minthara can summon a skeleton and then Shield of Faith on herself. You can Shield of Thralls on everybody, which is a plus 10 barrier that explodes when it's broken. So every single summon can have it. Let me just show you how ridiculous it is right now. Look at all these bubbles. This is just crazy. This is broken, overpowered. You don't have to do this for any difficulty but honor mode, and even then you don't have to do it. It's an easy boss fight, but it's still fun to do. Shadowheart can Shield of Faith on herself, and then your healer can, well, you can Death Ward every summon if you want. 3 Skeleton Archers, Shovel, Cambion, us are all summoned. You can Twin Cast Enlarge on Minthara and Shadowheart, you know. Big girl DPS, and then level 5 aid on everybody. You can 5x your sorcery points, use your Spellcrux Amulet, and get that level 5 back. And of course, when you're ready, take the elevator down, and it's an easy fight. Alright, time to explain the fight mechanics for those that can't figure this simple stuff out. So, Ketheric Thorn is the boss. He's going to transform into a big skeleton that occupies the middle. These little undeads on the left will keep spawning in, and when they reach the middle, they will heal him in his skeleton form. The Brain Cats and the Mind Flayer, just kill him, whatever. Over here, the Night Song, you have to have someone assist her by moving your character next to her, and then freeing her from these ghost hands. And every once in a while, Ketheric Thorn will rebind her, and if she is bound, you cannot hurt Ketheric Thorn. So when she is in this state, you can't hurt the boss. That means someone needs to always stand next to her to free her from binding. And that's essentially the fight. You have a whole army, everybody's full buffed. He's only 1 level above you, and if you pass all the persuasion checks, you know, at the top of the tower, then Night Song starts the fight unbound. So there you go. And if you want to cheese the fight even more further beyond, go into turn-based mode right now, make everyone dash, walk forward to trigger the cutscene, and then you start the fight with double movement speed. Everyone will have 40 meters of movement to just run all over the place and dunk on everything. You can even throw invis potions and make everything invisible, and then run right next to the boss, and of course Night Song, and start that way if you want. After the fight, make sure to loot Ketheric's shield to your healer character, and then, you know, might as well put the other stuff in the camp. And then once you're done, you can use the portal back to the surface. After the cutscene, you'll have to talk to both Minthara and Jaheira to get them both to permanently and officially join your party. After all the dialogue and cutscenes, you can go pick Astarion back up and have him join your party, level him to 10, and you're going to pick a Cleric, so you're level 6 Cleric, level 4 Rogue, and you get the ability to knock things backwards whenever you deal lightning damage, and you're always dealing lightning damage, so you're always knocking things back. It's really awesome. Anyway, if you want, there's a bunch of dialogue you can do. If you rescued Wolbrin from the prison, the little gnome guy, you can talk to him and offer to help him in Act 3, though there's no items we really need from the drop or anything of the sort. And other than that, all that's left is to teleport over here to the road to Baldurs Gate, and then, you know, I would make a permanent save, not like an auto-save, because once you leave this act, you can't come back. Also, if you don't have too many quick saves going on, I recommend loading one of the quick saves before you kill the Night Song, or save the Night Song. Make a permanent save there, so you can see what happens when you kill her. And you can also see what happens whenever you have Gale blow up the, you know, everything in underground. That's a fun one. But other than that, you're done with Act 2. There's nothing really left to do on the map. Everything's explored, everything's killed. Everything is looted that, well, you're going to use. So you can go to Act 3 now, and if you want, I will eventually make an Act 3 video, and it's going to take a while. I've got other games to play. Baldur's Gate doesn't pay the bills. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment. I read every single comment. I know I have like 100,000 subscribers, but I have no life. I literally read every single comment you guys post. So give me something to read. And finally, on the right side of your screen is a video you should absolutely click. And if you don't click it, what's going to happen is your internet service provider is going to just mess up for a whole 2 weeks. You just won't be able to use the internet or play online games for 2 weeks. That's what gave me enough time to make this video.